Chapter 1961. Ancient Ruins, Rule World. After thinking about Star-Old's words, Lin Mo decided to prepare for both possibilities. Although he personally believes that the Great World may not be reborn again and will only eventually become silent. But what if his idea is wrong? He can't take his idea as the only way for the human race to go. So, obtaining more resources to survive the last cold winter before Nirvana can also be considered a backup plan. He also planned to recast the God Road with his own ability. But what if he fails? What he is doing now can also be considered paving the way for future generations. Eggs should not be put in one basket. Lin Mo is very clear about this principle. Since he wants to do it, he shouldn't wait until later, he can start doing it now. Heaven Saint Venerable and House Saint Venerable were both thinking about Lin Mo's suggestion. Although Lin Mo is only a God Venerable, his suggestion also needs to be adopted. Both of them are very clear that as long as Lin Mo doesn't die, he will definitely become a Saint Venerable. Moreover, he is such a young Saint Venerable, he can live many more years than 133 and the others. Perhaps in the future, the affairs of the human race, big and small, will be decided by Lin Mo. Therefore, his words must also be taken seriously. Saint Venerable Hao said, "I agree with your approach, bring the Butterfly Clan over, give them 100 galaxies, and destroy the Python Clan along the way." Saint Venerable Tien frowned, "But the Python Clan has no grudges with us." Lin Mo shook his head, "The Butterfly Clan are our friends, and they were kind to us 100,000 years ago. Bullying our friends is bullying us, so there is a grudge. What's more, no grudge now doesn't mean no grudge in the future. If we don't act now, someone will act against them in the future. In the face of the cruelty of the future, small clans have no way to survive. Of course, if they escape, we don't have to chase them." Lin Mo knew very well that if the Python Clan wanted to escape, they could only escape to the outer domain. But this kind of weak existence is difficult to survive in the outer domain, and death is only a matter of time. It is foreseeable that when the powerful clans take action one after another, a large number of people will flee to the outer domain. But in the end, almost none will survive. Although the outer domain is barren, it is not safe. Under Lin Mo's slightly cold-blooded suggestion, the matter was settled. Saint Venerable Tien issued an order, and the human race sent 2 other Shore Realm experts to receive the Butterfly Clan. Lin Mo's eyes were filled with killing intent. "I think we can take action against those small clans that have grudges with us. If Star-Old's prediction comes true, having more resources in hand will occupy a favorable position." From this moment on, he seemed to have stood at a higher level, no longer considering for himself, but starting to consider for the entire human race. Once he reached this level, he had to make some cruel decisions. Saint Venerable Tien said in a low voice, "I will consider your suggestion carefully." He did not agree to Lin Mo, but he did not immediately refuse either. Saint Venerable Hao noticed the change in Lin Mo's expression, got up and patted him on the shoulder. "Sometimes decisions are not easy to make, you will understand later, come with me." Saint Venerable Hao took Lin Mo away from the God City, and after leaving the formation, Saint Venerable Hao took out his warship. In the warship, Saint Venerable Hao brewed a pot of Dao tea, using Dao water. Dao water is very special, only Saint Venerables can boil it, and the taste of using it to brew Dao tea is very special, which can increase the effect of Dao tea 10-fold or 100-fold. Dao water is also very rare, even rarer than Dao tea. Its preciousness is not inferior to the water of myriad colors, and because its only use is for brewing tea, its extravagance is even greater than the water of myriad colors. Therefore, even Saint Venerables do not often use it to brew tea. This was not the first time Lin Mo had seen Dao water, and he had never felt anything before, but this time he had a different feeling. He felt the charm in the Dao water, which was somewhat familiar, as if he had seen it somewhere. But he couldn't remember it for a while, and Lin Mo couldn't help but fall into thought. Saint Venerable Hao looked at Lin Mo's thoughtful appearance, and thought he was still thinking about the previous matter. "Sit down and have a cup of tea, don't think about things you can't figure out. When the position changes, thinking about problems will naturally be different from the past. Maybe a word, a thought, will determine the life and death of hundreds of millions of living beings. It's normal to have difficulty accepting it for a while." Saint Venerable Hao was like a kind and patient senior, enlightening Lin Mo while pouring tea for him. Lin Mo realized that Saint Venerable Hao had misunderstood him. you misunderstood. I used to be in a high position in the small world, and I could decide the life and death of thousands of people with a single word. I have also slaughtered countless people, and I have a very indifferent view of life and death. Saint Venerable Hao raised his eyebrows slightly and said with surprise and laughter, then what are you thinking about? Lin Moi said, I'm thinking about this Tao water, it has a familiar feeling, but I can't remember it. Saint Venerable Hao then understood. That's how it is, we accidentally obtained Tao water from the ruins, but we don't know where it came from. The quantity is indeed small, but its only use seems to be for making tea. The reason why it is called Tao water is because it contains Tao rhyme inside. You once comprehended Tao, and the Tao rhyme emitted during your Tao comprehension is very similar to Tao water, but it is more intense. Perhaps it is because you have comprehended Tao that you feel familiar. 0 inches. Lin Moi nodded silently, maybe. If he couldn't figure it out, he wouldn't think about it. There were too many secrets in this world, and every time a layer was revealed, more secrets would appear. He was not omniscient and omnipotent, and there were too many things he didn't know, so it didn't matter if he didn't know this one. Lin Moi picked up the teacup and drank it in one gulp. The Tao tea turned into a rolling heat wave that swept through his body, and finally concentrated at the soul, turning into nectar to nourish the soul world. The entire soul world seemed to be much clearer. Saint Venerable Hao refilled Lin Moi's tea again. Tao tea brewed with Tao water is very rare, don't waste it, drink a few more cups. Lin Moi thanked him and took it, and asked at the same time. Senior, where are we going? Saint Venerable Hao said, go to an ancient relic, where there is something that you need to retrieve. Lin Moi instinctively asked, what is it? Lin Moi didn't understand, what was there that he needed to retrieve, couldn't Saint Venerable Hao do it himself? If even the power of the Saint Venerable could not retrieve it, then how could he do it? Saint Venerable Hao said with a smile, you will know when you get there, strength is not so important there. Lin Moi said oh and didn't ask any more questions. The warship continued to move forward in the starry sky, and countless galaxies were left behind. Soon the warship left the advanced area. Lin Moi felt the direction the warship was heading, it seemed to be sailing outside the God City. That ancient relic is outside the God City star field. Lin Moi thought in his heart. Suddenly a brilliant light appeared in the dim starry sky. 0.9. In the light was a rapidly rotating vortex, the same as the entrance to the secret realm. The moment the entrance appeared, the warship rushed in. Lin Moi couldn't help but ask, is the ancient relic in the secret realm? Saint Venerable Hao said with a smile, almost, but not entirely, ancient relics and secret realms are a bit different. The secret realm is evolved from ancient talisman fragments, while ancient relics are ancient remnants, which are completely different in nature. Lin Moi could completely understand that the Supreme could freely manipulate their own rule world, and for them, the rule world was the strongest magic weapon. If the sect inheritance is placed in the rule world, it is undoubtedly the safest. This is the same as the ancient talisman evolving into a secret realm. Even ancient talismans can evolve into secret realms, and the rule world of the Supreme can naturally evolve into an independent space. Lin Moi looked at this rule world, feeling the unique atmosphere of the rule world. There was a thin mist in the rule world, making it impossible to see too far. With his eyesight, he could only see 10,000 meters at most. Not only was his eyesight limited here, but his strength was also restricted. The laws could not be sensed, the spells were restricted, and only the power of the flesh was still intact. He had this feeling before. This is the world of rules. He didn't expect that the ancient relic that Saint Venerable Hao was talking about was actually a world of rules. Chapter 1962. This old man has hundreds of granddaughters. Lin Moi had seen several rule worlds and would never mistake them. Moreover, he could be sure that the rule world he was in now was at least the rule world of a Supreme. The rule world of a Saint Venerable is much weaker and simpler than the rule world of a Supreme. There is a clear difference between the two, and Lin Moi can completely distinguish them. Saint Venerable Hao was not surprised that Lin Moi could recognize the rule world, and said with a smile, this is indeed a rule world, but at the same time, it is also the inheritance place of a sect. According to our research, in ancient times, the inheritance of many sects was placed in the rule world. In ancient times, after the Black Blood Great World invaded, the Supremes died in battle one after another. Some of the Supremes' rule worlds were not destroyed with it, and after a long period of evolution, they became ancient relics. Lin Moi could completely understand that the Supreme could freely manipulate their own rule world, and for them, the rule world was the strongest magic weapon. If the sect inheritance is placed in the rule world, it is undoubtedly the safest. This is the same as the ancient talisman evolving into a secret realm. Even ancient talismans can evolve into secret realms, and the rule world of the Supreme can naturally evolve into an independent space. Lin Moi looked at this rule world, feeling the unique atmosphere of the rule world. There was a thin mist in the rule world, making it impossible to see too far. With his eyesight, he could only see 10,000 meters at most. Not only was his eyesight limited here, but his strength was also restricted. The laws could not be sensed, the spells were restricted, and only the power of the flesh was still intact. He had this feeling before. This is the world of rules. He didn't expect that the ancient relic that Saint Venerable Hao was talking about was actually a world of rules. Lin Moi had seen several rule worlds and would never mistake them. Moreover, he could be sure that the rule world he was in now was at least the rule world of a Supreme. The rule world of a Saint Venerable is much weaker and simpler than the rule world of a Supreme. There is a clear difference between the two, and Lin Moi can completely distinguish them. Saint Venerable Hao was not surprised that Lin Moi could recognize the rule world, and said with a smile, "This is indeed a rule world, but at the same time, it is also the inheritance place of a sect. According to our research, in ancient times, the inheritance of many sects was placed in the rule world. In ancient times, after the Black Blood Great World invaded, the Supremes died in battle one after another. Some of the Supremes' rule worlds were not destroyed with it, and after a long period of evolution, they became ancient relics. Lin Moi could completely understand that the Supreme could freely manipulate their own rule world, and for them, the rule world was the strongest magic weapon. If the sect inheritance is placed in the rule world, it is undoubtedly the safest. This is the same as the ancient talisman evolving into a secret realm. Even ancient talismans can evolve into secret realms, and the rule world of the Supreme can naturally evolve into an independent space. Lin Moi looked at this rule world, feeling the unique atmosphere of the rule world. There was a thin mist in the rule world, making it impossible to see too far. With his eyesight, he could only see 10,000 meters at most. Not only was his eyesight limited here, but his strength was also restricted. The laws could not be sensed, the spells were restricted, and only the power of the flesh was still intact. He had this feeling before. This is the world of rules. He didn't expect that the ancient relic that Saint Venerable Hao was talking about was actually a world of rules. Holy Saint Sovereign was using the power of his own world of rules to contend against the power of this world of rules. After walking for a while, the fog in front of him suddenly dispersed, and his field of vision suddenly widened. Parting the clouds, a ray of soft light fell from the sky, and a 10,000-meter high mountain appeared in his sight. The fog that should have existed in every space was now attracted by this high mountain and covered it. At the top of the high mountain, there was a pagoda-like building. At the top of the pagoda was a huge pearl. The pearl was like a star, illuminating all directions. Lin Moi's eyes swept across the mountain. Apart from the pearl at the top and the pagoda looming in the mist, he couldn't see anything else. Exhausting his eyesight and opening the eye of the soul, Lin Moi relied on his soul of the other shore realm to see a few more things. Below the pagoda, there seemed to be a palace. It was just that the fog was too thick, and he couldn't see it very clearly. Holy Saint Sovereign smiled and said, "You saw that pearl, right?" Lin Moi gave a sound of approval, "I saw it. Do you want me to bring it back?" Holy Saint Sovereign shook his head. "It would naturally be best to bring back the pearl at the top of the pagoda, but it is not required. As long as you can enter the pagoda and bring back any inheritance, it will be considered a success." He continued to advance towards the high mountain, explaining as he walked, "This sect is called the Cloud Mist Sect. This mountain is also called Cloud Mist Mountain, the palace on the top of the mountain is called the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace, and the pagoda is called the Cloud Mist Pagoda. You enter the high mountain, find a way to enter the Heavenly Palace, and then enter the pagoda, and you can obtain the inheritance of the Cloud Mist Sect. There are 9 levels in the pagoda. The higher you climb, the stronger the inheritance you will obtain. If you can break through all 9 levels, you will be able to obtain the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist Sect." The supreme inheritance was the pearl at the top of the pagoda. The pearl has existed for countless years, which also shows that no one has ever obtained it. Lin Moi asked, "With your ability, you can't reach the end either?" Here, his strength was difficult to display even 1% of its full potential. Only saint sovereigns could rely on their own world of rules to resist the restrictions here. If even the saint sovereign couldn't obtain the inheritance, the chances of his success seemed slim. A hint of mystery was revealed in Holy Saint Sovereign's eyes. No, the Cloud Mist sect doesn't test combat strength, nor does it test laws, but rather it tests luck. Luck. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment. What kind of sect was this? Why did the inheritance depend on luck to obtain it? Moreover, how could luck be tested? Good luck today doesn't mean good luck tomorrow. Holy Saint Sovereign knew that Lin Moyu had doubts. Don't think about it if you don't understand. You'll know in a moment. Anyway, there won't be any danger here. Even if you fail, you'll only be a little embarrassed. You just need to remember that luck is also part of strength. Good luck is very important. Lin Moyu had always known that Holy Saint Sovereign and the others were looking for people with good luck, and they had also asked him some questions about luck. It seemed that it was all for the inheritance of the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace. Lin Moyu became even more curious about this ancient inheritance. There was actually a sect that used luck as a test standard. They arrived at the foot of the high mountain, and Lin Moyu saw some houses. There were more than 100 houses of various sizes and shapes, forming a small village. People lived inside, and he could feel the presence of people from afar. Holy Saint Sovereign said, "Over the years, we have also found some candidates with excellent luck and let them try to enter the trial. But unfortunately, no one has been able to pass the trial." Holy Saint Sovereign's attitude towards Lin Moyu was completely different from his attitude towards others. He patiently explained to Lin Moyu what they had done. Since discovering the inheritance site of the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace, they had found many people to enter, and all of them were the kind with exceptionally good luck. Each person stayed here for hundreds of years, trying to see if they could obtain the inheritance. But unfortunately, no one reached the top of the mountain, let alone the pearl at the top of the pagoda. They hadn't even entered the palace at the top of the mountain. They did obtain some insignificant inheritances, all of which were inheritance fragments obtained during the trial process, which were of little use. However, there was no danger here. If they failed once, they could try a second time, or a third time. At most, they would just be a little embarrassed if they failed. So they stayed down and tried again and again. The mountain was 10,000 meters high, and the highest person had reached 2/3 of the way. The arrival of Holy Saint Sovereign immediately attracted the attention of others. Holy Saint Sovereign is here. Greetings, Holy Saint Sovereign. Are you sending a newcomer again? So young, and his strength seems to be quite good. A group of people greeted Holy Saint Sovereign one after another, and many people also came out of their houses, gradually making the village lively. Everyone's strength was restricted here, and they couldn't see each other's realms. Instead, there was no distinction between high and low status. Everyone lived together like friends. Moreover, they had lived here for a long time, isolated from the world, and had never heard of Lin Moyu's name. After greeting Holy Saint Sovereign, their attention fell on Lin Moyu. "Young man, what's your name? How old are you this year?" To be valued by Holy Saint Sovereign, this young man's luck must be astonishingly good. Has he obtained any heaven-defying opportunities? Young man is not bad. Although our strength is restricted, I feel that you are very extraordinary and have unlimited potential. A group of people spoke all at once, their familiarity making Lin Moyu a little surprised. These people were too casual. Even towards Holy Saint Sovereign, they only maintained some basic politeness. Holy Saint Sovereign smiled and said, "His name is Lin Moyu. He is just over 100 years old and is already a god sovereign." "I'll go. A god sovereign in his hundreds? That's impossible. Holy Saint Sovereign, don't scare me, old man. I'm going to be scared to death." "Young man, are you married? This old man has hundreds of granddaughters." Chapter 1963 Probability approaching zero infinitely. After Holy Saint Sovereign's introduction, Lin Moyu learned that these people, who seemed ordinary, were all ancestors of various major families. Among the 100 people, there were 3 in the other shore realm alone. The rest were also peak god sovereigns. Thinking about it, it made sense. Those with bad luck could not have cultivated to this level. There were many other shore realm experts and peak god sovereigns in the human race. Holy Saint Sovereign and the others must have selected the best of the best, choosing those who had shorter cultivation times and more opportunities to come and try. These ancestors were very clear about the importance of luck. Their growth was also inseparable from good luck. Upon hearing that Lin Moyu was a 100-year-old god sovereign, they were all amazed. The most outrageous was that one who wanted to marry all hundreds of his granddaughters to Lin Moyu. According to him, his hundreds of granddaughters were all stunningly beautiful and peerless in the world. His idea was terrible. What was terrible was that there were dozens of people who had the same idea as him. If Holy Saint Sovereign hadn't been there, Lin Moyu even suspected that these ancestor-level figures would have directly escorted him to get married. Lin Moyu stood at the entrance of the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace inheritance site at the foot of the mountain, thinking about his experiences since he began cultivating. Luck, it seems, is really quite important. He had turned danger into safety and averted disaster several times. Not to mention before, but this time he was stranded outside the territory. His encounters were something that others didn't have. Not only did he not encounter any fatal dangers, but he also gained many benefits. Lin Moyu felt that perhaps this was the so-called luck, a certain force in the dark. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu suddenly felt awe for this ethereal and elusive power. The invisible and intangible power was truly terrifying. It was difficult to find its root, impossible to investigate its cause, and impossible to defend against. I wonder what the inheritance of the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace will be. While thinking, Lin Moyu entered the entrance. The mist rolled, and a tremor faintly came from the high mountain. Holy Saint Sovereign's eyes fell on the clouds and mist on the mountain, as if trying to see the situation inside clearly. Unfortunately, even if he was a Saint Sovereign, he couldn't see anything at this moment. Hopefully it works, he muttered to himself, his voice carrying a hint of heaviness. Clearly, the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect was very important. But he wasn't confident about something that relied on luck. Lin Moyu passed through a layer of thick fog where he couldn't see his own fingers, and a mountain path appeared before him. The mountain path was paved with jade, looking extremely smooth, winding upwards along the mountain. The mountain path in sight was about 20 meters long, and beyond 20 meters it was shrouded in thick fog, making it impossible to see clearly. Hao Shengjun didn't tell Lin Moyu the specifics of the test, but only told him that he would naturally know when he got inside. Lin Moyu stepped onto the jade mountain path with doubts. Suddenly, a voice rang in his ear. The inheritance test begins, please follow the jade road to the top of the mountain. You must not leave the jade road, leaving will be regarded as a failure of the test. If you encounter a dead end, you can have 3 chances to turn back. If all 3 chances are used up, the test will fail. That's it. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment. The rules were really simple. You can't leave the jade road, and you have a total of 3 chances to turn back, which means that you can't turn back except for these 3 chances. There will be dead ends. Is this test a maze? Lin Moyu immediately grasped the point and knew the true form of the test. Lin Moyu didn't start immediately, he wasn't in a hurry, the test didn't pursue time, it didn't matter if it was faster or slower. A maze-type test, which means that I will face countless choices. If the choice is right, you can continue to move forward, and if the choice is wrong, you will be eliminated. But you can try countless times, which also shows that each choice is different. That is to say, this maze is constantly changing. If this kind of test can be viewed from the outside, there will be no secrets, so it is necessary to use fog to cover the entire mountain. Well, very simple rules, but also very practical. Lin Moyu already knew that it would not be useful to remember each choice, and each test was different. All he can do is rely on luck, or find the differences and find the right path. However, the tests left by the ancient sects are unlikely to have differences, and most likely they can only rely on luck. Lin Moyu finally moved, stepping on the jade road and moving forward. Every step he took, the jade road behind him would be shrouded in thick fog, which also meant there was no way back. 3 chances to turn back will only appear after the first choice. Giving 3 chances also means that luck has ups and downs, there are good times and bad times, and the choices made in bad times will naturally not be right. Accompanied by thinking, Lin Moyu walked past the 20-meter jade road. The thick fog in front of him dissipated, and a fork appeared in front of him. The fork was divided into 2, winding upwards to both sides, each 20 meters long, and the end was still shrouded in thick fog. Choose one of 2. Lin Moyu now has to choose one of the 2 jade roads. As expected, it's the same as I thought. Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace used the simplest test method, the same as the rules, without any complexity. This kind of test method is also purely based on luck. But if you don't even need to use your brain at all, what if a cultivator with pure good luck but no courage comes along, is this really useful? Lin Moyu thought in his heart and randomly chose the road on the left. Here, the strength is limited, but the sharpness of the soul has not changed. He didn't feel any difference between the two roads at all, they were exactly the same. In that case, it's the same no matter which one you choose. As for whether it's right or wrong, it all depends on your luck. The rules of the test are extremely simple, and it's no wonder that Hao Shungjun didn't say it. It's not necessary to say it at all. After he made his choice, the jade road behind him still existed and did not disappear as before. If he regrets his choice now, he can retreat back to the fork and make a new choice. There are a total of 3 chances to return. Coming to the end of the jade road again, the thick fog in front of him dissipated, and 2 forks appeared again, one on the left and one on the right. At this time, the jade road behind him disappeared. I won half my choice was right, there was no dead end. The chance to turn back is only valid for the current choice, and it is useless for previous choices. One choice every 20 meters, a 10,000 meter high mountain, plus moving along the mountain road, the road to be taken is far more than 10,000 meters. Nearly 1,000 choices, even if the number of choices in the back no longer increases, it is always a 1 in 2 choice. Good heavens, the probability of getting everything right is infinitely low. Even with Lin Moyu's brain, he couldn't calculate how much the success rate of choosing correctly every time was for a while. I can only roughly estimate that the success rate has been low to an appalling degree, more than 1 in hundreds of millions. Lin Jiao Moyu's eyes were filled with thought. If there are more choices later, 1 in 3, or even 1 in 4. If you rely solely on luck, then the probability of getting it all right will be infinitely close to 0. Can anyone really pass this kind of test? I don't know when it started, but a fire started in the village at the foot of Cloud Mist Mountain. The old ancestors began to grill meat and cook. Clearly, they were all peak divine lords or even other shore realm experts, but here they lived like ordinary people. Their strength was suppressed, but using storage magic treasures was still not a problem. The magic treasures contained enough ingredients for them to live for thousands of years. They made delicious food while discussing Lin Moyu's affairs. Hao Shungjun seems to be particularly concerned about little friend Lin. I guess, is there some relationship between little friend Lin and Hao Shungjun? Are you saying, an illegitimate child? Don't talk nonsense. What is Hao Shung's identity? If he has descendants, where does he need illegitimate children? That's hard to say. What if? Chapter 1964. No matter how you choose, it's right. The old ancestors' conversations were heard by Hao Shungjun. The corners of his mouth twitched from time to time. Who would have thought that these old ancestors, who were highly respected outside, would be so gossipy? Not only gossipy, but also able to talk nonsense in a serious manner. I really don't know how those words were made up. They even made up a complicated story about Lin Moyu's life experience, and each one said it more truthfully than the real thing. Hao Shungjun listened for a long time, and finally couldn't help but turn his head and said in a low voice, "Enough." His voice was like muffled thunder, exploding in the village, and there was no sound in the village immediately. Several old ancestors who were discussing the most lively all closed their mouths. After a few seconds of silence, someone finally opened his mouth without fear of death. Hao Shungjun really values him. Yes, he got angry so quickly. I think this matter is not simple. Well, it's really not simple. Hao Shungjun was completely speechless. These old guys, he couldn't hit them or kill them. In the end, he could only choose to turn a deaf ear and block his hearing, not listening to their nonsense. Even a holy venerable has many helpless places. Lin Mo made choices time and time again, and he walked faster and faster, making each choice without needing to think, directly choosing the left. A very simple choice, repeated hundreds of times, without exception. But the result was very surprising to Lin Mo. All his choices were correct. 327. Once or twice, or even 8 or 10 times, being right is not strange. But being right hundreds of times is a bit abnormal. It's like a test paper where all the multiple choice questions have the same option. Even the best student would feel flustered. Lin Mo is like this now. After making the same choice hundreds of times in a row and being correct every time, he began to doubt his previous thinking. Could it be that this is not simply testing luck? Could it be that the test is mixed with something I don't know? If there is, what could it be? But no matter how he thought, he couldn't think of any other factors. Let's try it. Lin Mo decided to verify his idea. When choosing at the next intersection, he chose the road on the right. 20 meters quickly came to an end, the thick fog dispersed, and there were 2 more forks in the road on the left and right. He chose correctly again. Lin Mo then began to continue choosing all left, again choosing left 10 times in a row, and again being all correct. This kind of probability is not normal. The suspicion grew heavier and heavier, and he felt more and more that something was wrong. But he couldn't find the wrong place, and couldn't figure out why. Then he began to randomly choose a direction to move forward, but without exception, all were correct. His speed was already very fast, and in less than half a day, he had already made 200 choices. With a choice every 20 meters, 200 choices, he had already walked 4,000 meters. Assuming the mountain is 10,000 meters high, going up along the mountain road, he has almost completed 1/3 of the journey. At the 201st fork in the road, some changes finally occurred. 3 forks appeared in front of him, turning into a 1 in 3 choice. Lin Mo didn't hesitate much and directly chose the middle road. It was another correct choice, and he didn't encounter a dead end. The more this happened, the greater Lin Mo's doubts became. It was impossible for his choices to be correct every time, but they just happened to be correct every time. Why is this happening? What exactly is luck? Is it really because I'm lucky enough that I can choose the correct road every time? Or is it because I'm lucky enough that no matter what I choose, the final result is correct? Suddenly, Lin Mo stopped. He seemed to have thought of something. Combining the previous experiments, Lin Mo finally began to understand. It's not that my choices are all correct, but because of my luck, my choices are all correct. Choice is just a process, in fact, the result was already destined. And the factor that determines the result is because of my luck. The Cloud Mist sect must have methods to test luck, so the test can make a result based on my luck for my choice. In that case, no matter what I choose, it will be correct. Relying on his own judgment, Lin Mo really began to choose randomly. Left, right, or middle, without thinking at all, mainly focusing on randomness. Without exception, no matter what he chose, there was no problem. Later, Lin Mo always took the leftmost road, and the result was still the same. While advancing rapidly, Lin Mo's mind was constantly thinking. The Cloud Mist sect chooses disciples with good luck, but it's impossible to rely solely on luck. There must be some other tests, otherwise it would be a joke if an idiot with heaven-defying luck passed the test. The ancient powerhouses couldn't have done such a brainless thing. Soon, Lin Mo crossed another 200 forks. At this moment, he had completed 2/3 of the journey, tying the current highest score. This score was created by a peak god Venerate 2000 years ago. Now this peak god Venerate has become a beyond realm, and he has come here again later, but he has never broken his own record again, not even tying it. The thick fog dispersed for the 401st time, and 4 roads appeared in front of Lin Mo. The last 1/3, from 1 in 3 became 1 in 4. Each time there is only a 25% chance of success, and the probability of being correct further decreases. But Lin Mo still didn't think much, and as before, he continued to choose the leftmost road. When stepping on the Cyan Jade Road, Lin Mo suddenly felt a wisp of invisible power falling on him. This power was very weak, and even with his soul, he had to be very careful to sense it. If it were someone else, they wouldn't feel anything at all. There's a change, it's really not that simple, Lin Mo thought, and quickly walked the 20 meters in front of him. The thick fog still dispersed as before, exactly the same as before, and 4 forks appeared again. Lin Mo still chose the leftmost road, and he felt the same power falling on him again. What exactly is it? This wisp of power was too small, although it was sensed, Lin Mo couldn't find it. It's not like a law, it's ethereal, and it's not known what it does. It should be the power of the supreme realm or above, the level is too high, it's not something I can understand. But for now, there should be no danger, it's not that kind of offensive power. Lin Mo continued to make his choice, uniformly choosing the leftmost one, and continued forward. Each time the choice was correct, and there were no dead ends. After choosing 10 times in a row, Lin Mo found that the inexplicable power didn't appear every time. It appeared about 8 times out of 10. But because there were too few factors to refer to, Lin Mo still couldn't think of the reason for a while. The following choices were the same as before, and that power appeared in most cases and fell on him. Lin Mo kept counting one time after another. The choice was correct time and time again, and everything seemed to be developing in a good direction. Lin Mo felt that he was getting closer and closer to the top of the mountain. There are 150 more times left. Lin Mo counted in his heart, and after 150 more times, he would be able to walk the last section of the Cyan Jade Road, reach the top of the mountain and enter the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace. Suddenly, he stopped. He walked to the end of the thick, and the thick fog in front of him did not dissipate, but a dead end appeared. The Cyan Jade Road came to an end, and no new forks appeared, and there was a high wall in front of him. Dead End. Chapter 1965. Not a reward, but a trap. Lin Mo stood at the end of the Cyan Jade Road, facing the high wall, and fell into deep thought. Did the appearance of the dead end mean that his luck had come to an end? Now he had completed 450 forks, and with 150 more times, he could reach the end. It seemed that nothing had changed, he was still himself, and his luck was still the same. But it seemed that something had changed, otherwise, according to the previous guess, there would be no dead end. Thinking about the changes before and after, all the details were taken into account, and Lin Mo kept searching for the exact answer. The appearance of a dead end is not a problem with my choice, but with luck. As long as you are lucky enough, it doesn't matter how you choose. But my luck has not changed, so the problem is not with me, but with that mysterious power. In 50 choices, the mysterious power appeared a total of 4 to 0 times. Every time it appears, it should be an accumulation, accumulating time after time, gradually strengthening, and finally causing an impact. What is affected should be my luck. This mysterious power affects my luck. It should be. Yunwu sect has a method of measuring luck, which can determine the choice result according to the strength of luck. But it is impossible for them to choose a successor purely based on luck. There must be other factors. If I am not mistaken. A smile appeared on the corner of Lin Mo's mouth, and his eyes were as bright as stars. If I'm not mistaken, the last 200 choices require observation and thinking. We must try our best to choose the correct path from the 4 paths. This can reduce the influence of the mysterious power, so as to ensure the correctness of the result. Yes, that's it. Lin Mo slapped his hand suddenly, he finally understood completely. He believed that his choice was basically correct, but out of caution, he still needed to verify it. Lin Mo began to retreat, using his 3 rights of return. He retreated 20 meters and came to the 4-way intersection. When retreating, Lin Mo keenly felt that a trace of mysterious power had left him. At the same time, after he retreated to the intersection, the leftmost road disappeared, and the choice changed from 4 to 1 to 3 to 1. It seems that it is really this mysterious power that has affected me. My luck has not changed, but has been suppressed by this mysterious power. Lin Mo realized something in his heart, and the first step of verification once again affirmed his guess. Lin Mo carefully sensed the leaving mysterious power and measured it. He had obtained a total of 40 mysterious powers before, and now about 10 are leaving. According to this calculation, in the next 10 choices, no matter right or wrong, the result will be correct. Second verification. Lin Mo thought in his heart and made his choice again. He had always chosen the leftmost road before. After retreating this time, he still chose the leftmost road. The original road has disappeared, and the current leftmost is the previous left second. In fact, it doesn't matter which road you choose, it's all the same. Soon he reached the end of the Qingyu Road, the thick fog cleared, and 4 crossroads reappeared. It was another 4 to 1 choice, and this time Lin Mo did not feel the mysterious power. Then Lin Mo continued to choose the leftmost road to move forward, again and again, while sensing that power. Once, twice, 10 times. After 13 consecutive choices, there were 3 times when he did not encounter mysterious power. After accumulating 10 times again, Lin Mo murmured, "This time, I should have encountered a dead end." He quickly made his choice, and soon reached the end, and sure enough, he saw a high wall. There was no way forward, and the dead end appeared again. A look of joy appeared in Lin Mo's eyes. He knew that his guess was correct. It was indeed that power that affected his luck, thereby affecting the result. Lin Mo began his second return, while shaking his soul, carefully sensing all the changes in the outside world. As he returned, sure enough, more mysterious power left his body. However, this time the departing power was relatively small, only 5 portions. Retreating to the intersection, Lin Mo whispered to himself, "Half less than last time, each return will reduce the number of times you can try again." The opportunities are getting fewer and fewer, and Lin Mo continues to verify. Sure enough, After 7 choices, he encountered a dead end again. Third return, this time only 2 mysterious powers left. Lin Mo verified for the 3rd time. After the first 2 times, he basically understood what was going on. After several consecutive choices, he encountered a dead end again. This time he had no chance to return, and the Qingyu road behind him had disappeared. His test reached its end and ended here. But some changes have also occurred in the last test. In front of the stone wall, a pearl was suspended. Ask for flower sa a. It looks full of flaws and is not a very beautiful pearl. Is this the fragment inheritance? Lin Mo had heard the seniors in the village say that if the test fails, some rewards will be given based on the results of the test. In their eyes, it is a kind of encouragement to encourage them to continue to work hard next time and achieve better results. But Lin Mo didn't think so. How can luck be increased by encouragement? Luck is not cultivation. In most cases, luck is destined. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Lin Mo believed that Yunwu sect could not do such a boring thing. So what are these rewards? According to the people who came to the test before, Lin Mo probably got the answer. It's not encouragement, but a trap. If you take the reward, the difficulty of the next test may increase. So, those who can pass the test before, after receiving the reward, their test results will often be worse than before. Lin Mo got his answer through a lot of information. He did not take the pearl, but stepped aside and left Qingyu Road. An irresistible force fell on him and blasted him out directly. Outside the high mountain, the clouds and mist suddenly rolled violently. Hey, the test is over. It's a pity, I didn't make it to the top. Haha, I can watch the human meteorite again. Come on, let's bet, how long will Lin Mo be planted in the ground? I guess at least 1 hour, I bet 100,000 shares of belief power. You're stingy, I bet 200,000 shares of belief power, betting that he will be planted in the ground for at least 2 hours. For a time, the betting was extremely hot. In their experience, Lin Mo would soon fly out of the high mountain, and then plant head down and feet up on the ground. It would not be until the control of the body was restored that he could come out of the ground. Someone shouted at Hao Shengjun, you can't help this kid. Hao Shengjun blocked his hearing and didn't hear anything at all. But looking at the expressions of these old guys, he knew what had happened. This kind of thing was not the first time it had happened, he had experience. There was a slight disappointment in his eyes. Lin Mo can't do it either. Can no one get this inheritance? Under his gaze, Lin Mo flew out through the thick fog. A few. Holy Saint Venerable looked at the several shameless old fellows, and said in a low voice, I'll bet with you, I bet Lin Mo won't fall on the ground. Each of you bets 1 million portions of faith power, if I lose, I'll pay double. Are you betting or not? Holy Saint Venerable's sudden words made these old fellows even more excited. Bet, why wouldn't we bet? Being able to win against Saint Venerable once, this old man will have face when I talk about it. Saint Venerable, don't you regret it? Also, Saint Venerable, you can't interfere. Holy Saint Venerable chuckled, just don't regret it, I won't interfere. As he spoke, he looked at Lin Mo, who had just flown out, and said lightly, kid, show some face. Holy Saint Venerable had plenty of faith power. He simply wanted to make fun of these old fellows who had been teasing him earlier. Moreover, he believed in Lin Mo. When Lin Mo had just flown out, his face was too calm, without a trace of panic. And in his 070 eyes, there seemed to be a kind of inexplicable color that was moving. So on a whim, he made this bet. As a Saint Venerable, he was not afraid of these old fellows going back on their word. No one dared to go back on a Saint Venerable's word. Lin Mo felt a powerful force that was difficult to resist rushing into his body, causing him to lose control of his body. He first flew into the high sky, and then fell sharply like a shooting star. The final result would inevitably be his head landing first, smashing a large pit in the ground. That appearance would inevitably be very embarrassing. So that's what Holy Saint Venerable meant by embarrassing. Lin Mo vaguely saw the situation on the ground. Those old ancestors seemed very excited, pointing and commenting on him. Are they trying to make fun of me? Lin Mo let out a soft shout, and a purple gold light erupted from his entire body. The purple gold body erupted with full force, the light flowing, dispelling the external force. At the same time, the only undying law in his body let out a roar. The undying law cooperated with the purple gold body, the power of death grinding away the external force, and the power of life providing vigorous vitality for the body. Almost in the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu regained control of his body. The fully erupted purple gold body brought Lin Moyu powerful strength, allowing him to fly in the air. Even if the laws were restricted, as long as the power of the body reached a certain level, he could still fly freely. Lin Moyu slowly landed from the air, looked at the extremely shocked crowd, and smiled slightly. "What's wrong, seniors?" The old ancestors, who were eating their shock, all reacted and said repeatedly, "Nothing, nothing." But looking at their faces, they didn't look like they were okay at all. Each of them had a bitter face, as if they were very uncomfortable. Holy Saint Venerable walked over laughing. "They lost the bet, and each of them is feeling the pain. Quickly hand over the bet, don't make me take action." Facing the Saint Venerable, how could they dare to go back on their word? The old ancestors said with bitter faces, "Saint Venerable is indeed Saint Venerable, we will never bet with you again in the future." Holy Saint Venerable laughed, "If you dare to make fun of me behind my back again, see how I deal with you." The old ancestors smiled apologetically, saying repeatedly that they wouldn't dare, and each took out their faith tokens and handed them to Holy Saint Venerable. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment. "Aren't faith tokens unique to the Bai family?" Holy Saint Venerable said, "Indeed, they are unique to the Bai family. However, the method of manufacturing faith tokens was given to the Human Emperor Network by the Bai family a long time ago. As long as you reach the peak God Venerable, you can exchange them for a certain amount of divine city merits. These old fellows have all exchanged them, and usually like to make some faith tokens to reward their clansmen and descendants. One faith token contains 100,000 portions of faith power, and each bet between Holy Saint Venerable and them was as high as 1 million faith power. There were as many as 30 people participating in the bet, and Holy Saint Venerable earned 30 million portions of faith power all at once. That was not a small amount, it had already exceeded Lin Moyu's entire net worth. Holy Saint Venerable directly gave all 300 faith tokens to Lin Moyu. "Take them." Lin Moyu said, "This is too precious." Holy Saint Venerable shook his head, "It's not precious, with the contribution you've made, this is nothing." Lin Moyu didn't decline too much and accepted it readily. "Come with me." Holy Saint Venerable led Lin Moyu away from the village, and before leaving, he warned these old fellows with his eyes, telling them to be honest. The old ancestors looked sad. 1 million portions of faith power was not a small amount for them either. Returning to the entrance of Cloud Mist Mountain, Holy Saint Venerable asked in a low voice, "How is it, did you gain anything?" Lin Moyu said, "How did you know I gained something?" Holy Saint Venerable said, "I'm a Saint Venerable after all, do you think some things are so easy to hide?" Lin Moyu immediately started flattering, "Saint Venerable is indeed insightful. Stop flattering, speak quickly." Lin Moyu laughed, "I did gain something, but I still need to verify it." He explained his guesses and thoughts. Holy Saint Venerable frowned, "You mean, in the first 400 choices, it's purely a test of luck. As long as you're lucky, any choice is fine. After 400 times, a mysterious force begins to intervene, and you need to think of another way." Lin Moyu nodded, "That's how I feel, but I haven't thought of a way yet, so I want to continue going in." Holy Saint Venerable said, "You didn't take the fragment inheritance, you think that's not a reward, but a trap. It seems that there is indeed such a possibility. The people who took the fragment inheritance before didn't have ideal results afterwards. We thought it was just that their good luck had run out, we didn't expect it to be like this." Lin Moyu said, "Although I didn't get a reward, I can imagine that if I took the fragment inheritance, that mysterious force might be permanently solidified. And when I came out just now, those mysterious forces had already dissipated." Holy Saint Venerable hemmed, "Then go in and try again, hopefully you can gain something more." Lin Moyu was about to go in again when he suddenly turned his head and asked, "Saint Venerable, is this inheritance very important?" Holy Saint Venerable said, "It's important and unimportant. We have a plan, and it would be better if we had this inheritance." Understood. Lin Moyu entered Cloud Mist Mountain again. Since Holy Saint Venerable had said so, it was obviously useful. Since that was the case, he would do his best. The old ancestors in the village watched Lin Moyu enter Cloud Mist Mountain again, full of curiosity. Why did he go in again? Too hasty, he just came out, and his luck is all used up. If he goes in again, his results will be very bad. It's really strange. Holy Saint Venerable should know this, why didn't he stop him? They were all experienced people, knowing that after being blasted out, if they returned immediately, the results would be very bad. They needed to wait for a while before going in again, then it would be better. They explained it as their luck being used up, needing time to recover. After Lin Moyu went in, Holy Saint Venerable returned to the village and said to the crowd, "Those who have obtained the fragment inheritance, come over." There were more than 50 people in the village, and more than half of them had obtained the fragment inheritance. Holy Saint Venerable called them over and carefully inquired about the changes after they obtained the fragment inheritance. He found that basically everything matched what Lin Moyu said. The subsequent results of these people failed to exceed their best results. The best of them was only close to their best result. Holy Saint Venerable didn't explain anything. After asking, he let them leave and looked at Cloud Mist Mountain again, his voice very low, "Hopefully there will be some gain this time. The lowest standard is Advanced God Venerable." In the high mountains, Lin Moyu felt an even stronger suppression than the outside world. The ubiquitous mist became shackles, even if his body strength was strong enough, he could not fly in the mountains. Lin Moyu pushed his speed to the limit, practically sprinting along the Qingyu Road. Each time he reached a fork in the road, he unhesitatingly made a choice, always selecting the leftmost path. Again and again, for 400 times in a row, it was the same. The results repeatedly verified Lin Moyu's guess that for the first 400 times, no matter how he chose, it was always correct. It was his luck that determined the final outcome, the choice wasn't important, what mattered was luck. Until after 400 times, in addition to luck, some other judgment was needed. After 400 times, choosing incorrectly would result in one's luck being suppressed by a mysterious force, until luck was exhausted, leading to a dead end. Lin Moyu was very clear about what he needed to do. He needed to find the correct path in the choices after 400 times, to find the distinguishing point between right and wrong. The Yunwu sect's selection of a successor wouldn't only look at luck, but also at the ability to analyze and judge. Of course, luck was still very important. If luck wasn't good, even passing the first 400 choices would be impossible, let alone what came after. Just an hour later, Lin Moyu stood at the 401st fork in the road, before him were 4 different paths. The 4 Qingyu roads looked exactly the same, apart from some differences in the roadside grass, there was no other distinction. Lin Moyu had also noticed these grasses before, each road had differences, but they couldn't form a pattern. Lin Moyu felt that the choices weren't determined by the changes in the grass. What exactly is the new test added by the Yunwu sect? Lin Moyu fell into deep thought. He tried to think about the problem from the Yunwu sect's perspective. What kind of requirements would a powerful sect, a sect that valued luck, have for its disciples during inheritance? Luck was one aspect, what else could it be on the other hand? Disposition, comprehension, thinking ability, responsibility. It seems all are possible. Some things can't be reflected in the test, such as disposition, which is difficult to see until a major event is encountered. Then the greatest possibility is comprehension, and comprehension is closely related to conditions such as intelligence, acuity, and talent. If it's a test of comprehension, how should one comprehend? Lin Moyu looked at the dense fog dozens of meters away. The dense fog wasn't static, but slowly churning, like clouds in the sky. Clouds rising and falling, unpredictable. Lin Moyu thought of the name of the Yunwu sect, and a flash of light passed through his eyes. Yunwu sect. Yunwu doesn't necessarily refer to clouds and fog, it may refer to luck. Luck is like clouds and fog, elusive, with ups and downs. The same person has different luck at different times, with times of great luck and times of bad luck. In that case, the Yunwu sect's original intention refers to luck, then these 4 roads. Lin Moyu looked at the 4 Qingyu roads, looking at the clouds and fog above the 4 Qingyu roads. He watched the clouds and fog constantly changing, and gradually, a confident smile appeared on the corner of Lin Moyu's mouth. I understand, so that's how it is. The clouds and fog are constantly changing, representing that these 4 Qingyu roads are also constantly changing. No Qingyu road is completely correct, whether it's right or wrong depends on the change in the clouds and fog when stepping onto the Qingyu road. Among the 4 Qingyu roads, at the same point in time, there is always one whose corresponding clouds and fog are more abundant, while the other 3 are relatively sparse. Then the road with more clouds and fog is the correct path at this moment. Lin Moyu, based on his own judgment, chose the road with more clouds and fog, and quickly rushed over. The 20-meter Qingyu road, 20 steps, were quickly completed by Lin Mo Yu. No mysterious power descended, and after reaching the end, the dense fog dissipated, and 4 new roads appeared again. Lin Mo Yu observed the changes in the fog, and then found the correct path. This time it's the second from the left. He muttered in his heart, and quickly rushed over. The changes in the dense fog were constant. The fog on the second from the left is denser now, but it won't be later. So even if the correct path is chosen, accidents may still occur before reaching the end. And the time for the fog to change is uncertain. It may be fast, or it may be slow. Maybe when you are halfway there, the fog density changes, the correct becomes wrong, and the mysterious power directly descends. This completely depends on luck. What Lin Mo Yu can do is to minimize the time spent on the Qingyu road. In the end, the Yunwu sect never gave up the test of luck, but simply changed the form. There are also times when the fog covering the 4 Qingyu roads is very similar, with a difference of no more than 1%. It's difficult for ordinary people to feel this 1% difference, but this still doesn't stump Lin Mo Yu. With his soul's sensitivity, he can feel a difference of 1,000th. The following road became smoother and smoother, and Lin Mo Yu also became more and more successful. As long as the rules are mastered, it is equal to no difficulty for him. Another 100 forks ended, and Lin Mo Yu stopped again in front of the fork. He faced the 501st choice, with only the last 100 forks remaining. The situation in front of him changed again, still 4 Qingyu roads, the fog was still more or less, but the feeling Lin Mo Yu got was different. Lin Mo Yu felt that there seemed to be some things added to the Qingyu road, as if there was an inexplicable power. Are the last 100 times the real test? Lin Mo Yu muttered to himself, and didn't act immediately. He had to observe clearly before acting. This test didn't pursue time, and he didn't need to rush. The first 400 times can be passed purely by luck, from the 401st to the 500th time, as long as you can comprehend the changes in the fog, you can pass smoothly. Starting from the 501st time, in addition to luck and comprehension, what else needs to be tested? The changes on the Qingyu road seem a little familiar, as if I've seen them somewhere before. Lin Mo Yu thought in his heart, and distant memories were pulled back from the bottom of his heart, and a sense of familiarity gradually surged into his heart. Small world, God's chosen secret realm, the power of divinity. Lin Mo Yu suddenly felt that the feeling the Qingyu road gave him was the same as the roads in the God's chosen secret realm of the small world. The God's chosen secret realm targeted the spiritual world, and looking at it from the current realm, it actually targeted the soul. The Qingyu road in front of him should also have added a test of the soul. First is luck, then comprehension is added, and now the test of the soul is added. The ancient sects, their tests won't be explicitly stated, you need to comprehend it yourself. The test is not easy, luck, talent, and strength are indispensable. Lin Mo Yu completely understood that the final Qingyu road, in addition to testing luck and comprehension, also tested the soul. I don't know, what is the requirement for the soul, is my soul qualified? Taking a deep breath, Lin Mo Yu chose the correct path and stepped into it. Boom! A powerful force bombarded the soul world. The soul world shook violently, causing Lin Mo Yu's footsteps to pause, and then return to normal. Lin Mo Yu rushed through the Qingyu road at the fastest speed, reaching the end before the fog changed. 4 new Qingyu roads appeared again in front of him. Lin Mo Yu stood still. Equivalent to a high-level godly venerable soul impact, still within the range of tolerance. It seems that the Yunwu sect's selection of successor disciples, the minimum standard is high-level godly venerable. Chapter 1968. You didn't make a single mistake. Lin Mo Yu gradually understood the Yunwu sect. This was a very peculiar sect. When they recruited disciples, what they valued most was not talent and aptitude, but luck. Only those with qualified luck were qualified to join the sect. Then, on top of luck, there must also be decent comprehension and good soul strength. The latter two are not difficult, and even some natural treasures can enhance comprehension and enhance the soul. Lin Mo Yu believed that in the ancient times, the resources of the great world were extremely abundant, and such natural treasures were not uncommon. But luck is naturally destined. Although there will be ups and downs, the upper limit is basically set there. So the most important thing is luck, the rest are bonus items. As long as luck is good enough, although you may not get the best inheritance, there will always be some gains. Lin Mo made choices time and time again, enduring the soul impact. As he got closer and closer to the end, the degree of soul impact also increased, but fortunately, the increase was not much, and it did not exceed the high-level god. This further verified Lin Mo's guess that the soul is just a bonus. If in the ancient times, the supreme of the Yunwu sect who controlled the inheritance was still alive, people who made O1 choices are eligible to receive the inheritance of the Yunwu sect. Unfortunately, the supreme is no longer there, and only the rules are left. The rules will not change, and you cannot get the inheritance until you reach the end. Finally, after walking the 600th Qingyu Road, Lin Mo truly set foot on the top of the mountain. The thick fog in front of him dissipated, and a huge palace appeared in his sight. The huge palace exudes a vast aura, which is the aura of time. A surge of majestic aura rose from the palace, as if there were countless strong people in the palace. When looking at it, Lin Mo seemed to feel the power of the ancient times. The thick fog turned into clouds, floating on the top of the palace, behind which was a pagoda. Lin Mo felt a huge pressure from the clouds, which also meant that he could not go to the pagoda from the top of the palace. Congratulations on passing the road of inheritance, please enter the Yunwu Hall to receive the inheritance baptism. Lin Mo heard a reminder in his ear, exactly the same as when he stepped into Yunwu Mountain. After carefully admiring the Yunwu Hall, Lin Mo strode in. At the foot of the mountain in the village, someone suddenly exclaimed, pointing to the top of the mountain with a shocked look, "Look, there is someone on the mountain." These old ancestors all raised their heads and looked towards the top of the mountain. Above the clouds, they did see a person appearing there. Because the distance was too far and there was fog, they couldn't see clearly. But based on the figure and clothing, they determined that the person on the top of the mountain was Lin Mo. Good boy, he really went up. Holy Venerable is above. How did he do it? It's incredible. Are we all wrong? Even if you are eliminated, you don't need to wait, you can enter immediately. I don't think so, so many of us have tried so many times, there shouldn't be any mistakes. Then how did he get up? I don't know, I can only wait for him to come back and ask. Hao Shengjun also saw Lin Mo, his fists clenched, good job. It can be seen that his eyes are full of excitement. Lin Mo entered the Yunwu Hall, and there was also mist floating in the hall. Entering it was like entering a dreamland. Yunwu sect, the sect is as its name suggests, there is mist everywhere. At the same time, the mist is erratic, which also represents the uncertainty of luck. Some mist wrapped around and kept spinning around Lin Mo. Lin Mo looked puzzled, is this the inheritance baptism? He didn't feel any change, the so-called inheritance baptism should have some changes. You haven't made a single mistake. A crisp voice with surprise and disbelief sounded in the hall. Someone. Lin Mo looked around, only to see that in the midair in front of him, the clouds and mist were rapidly shrinking, forming a thick white cloud. On top of the white cloud, a girl who looked about 18 or 19 years old was sitting lazily on it. It's a spirit. Lin Mo saw at a glance that the other party was not a living being, but a spirit. As for whether it is the spirit of the Yunwu Hall, or another spirit, it is not known. The girl rubbed her eyes, then glared at Lin Mo. Hey, I'm asking you a question, why don't you speak? Lin Mo said, I haven't made a single mistake. The girl opened her big eyes and looked Lin Mo up and down, you don't look very smart, how can you not make a single mistake? Could it be that you are so lucky that you can choose the right one every time? Lin Mo didn't speak. From the girl's words, he could probably hear that the girl didn't know the specific situation of the test in Yunwu Mountain. Perhaps she only manages this hall and manages a result. The girl suddenly waved her hand again, just think of it as your good luck. According to the regulations, you are qualified to become a true disciple and enter the inheritance tower. But a reminder in advance, there is a certain danger in entering the inheritance tower, you may be locked inside and unable to get out. And there are many inheritances in the inheritance tower, and the probability of you getting the best inheritance is less than 0.5%. And the probability of you being locked inside may exceed 70%. If you don't want to go in, you can also accept the inheritance here. I can choose a better inheritance for you, which may not be worse than the one in the inheritance tower. Think carefully before making a choice. Lin Mo felt that the girl didn't seem to be telling the truth, she didn't seem to want him to enter the inheritance tower to obtain the inheritance. Lin Mo thought for a while, revealing a hint of hesitation. Senior, is the inheritance tower really that dangerous? The girl coughed, seeming a little unhappy, do you think I would lie to you? The inheritance tower is so dangerous. Of the 10 people who go in, only 1 or 2 can get a good inheritance. Most people are locked inside and don't think about coming out for hundreds or thousands of years. So I advise you to honestly choose an inheritance here. I think your aptitude is mediocre, your realm is only at the first level of God, and your strength is also pitifully weak. You are just a little lucky. It's already amazing to be able to come here. I advise you not to risk going to the inheritance tower. I can help you choose the best inheritance in Yunwu Hall, which will not be worse than the one in the inheritance tower. Although she pretended to be completely for Lin Mo's good, Lin Mo still heard some clues. She really didn't want him to enter the inheritance tower. But the 2 of them didn't know each other. Why would this be? What is the purpose of this Miss Spirit? With too little information known at present, Lin Mo cannot make a judgment for the time being. Lin Mo thought for a while and decided to talk to her more. Li's Zhao, perhaps he could get more useful information. He slowly opened his mouth. Senior, how many people have not come here? The girl frowned. Many years. She is not sure. Lin Mo thought of a possibility in his heart. He continued to ask, Senior, what happened to those who were locked in the inheritance tower in the end? The girl snorted. Nothing happened, they were locked up for hundreds or thousands of years, and then they left. Then what were they doing when they were locked up? What can they do? They are just locked up. Is the inheritance in the inheritance tower so difficult? Of course it's difficult. The more difficult it is, the stronger it is. Lin Mo got another key piece of information from the girl. Although the inheritance tower will lock people up, it will not kill people. After being locked up for hundreds or thousands of years, they can eventually leave. In this way, it is inconsistent with what the girl said earlier that there is danger in the inheritance tower. The girl's words were exaggerated. She must have other reasons for not wanting herself to enter the inheritance tower. Chapter 1969. The Poor Spirit, Lord Mist. Lin Mo asked some unimportant questions again, and got answers from the girl. The girl seemed to answer every question. Lin Mo guessed that there should be some kind of restriction that stipulated that the girl must answer. From the girl's answers, Lin Mo got a lot of information, and also found some contradictions in the girl's previous and subsequent words. These contradictions basically express the girl's unwillingness to enter the inheritance tower herself. Having made a decision in his heart, the inheritance tower is a must-enter. Even if there is danger inside, he has to go in and try. What's more, there is no danger inside, at most it's just being locked up for a while. Lin Mo Yu has confidence in himself, he believes that even if he is locked inside, it won't be too long. The girl was finally annoyed by the questioning, and frowned. You ask this and that, have you made your choice yet? Lin Mo Yu smiled. Senior, may I ask your honorable name? The girl said, you can call me Lord Wu. Have you finally made your choice yet? Lin Mo Yu was not in a hurry at all. Lord Wu, before I arrived, you should have been in a deep sleep. The girl's expression changed, and she blurted out, how do you know? Saying that, she realized she had misspoke, and changed her words. This a degree just likes to sleep, what are you asking this for? Lin Mo Yu said, it seems that Lord Wu has slept for a long time, and doesn't know what the outside world has become. Lord Wu was stunned for a moment. The outside world. Lin Mo Yu said, Lord Wu should be able to feel that the supreme of the Cloud Mist sect is gone. This Lord Wu finally reacted, as if she had woken up from a long sleep. What happened to the outside world? Lin Mo Yu asked, do you know how long you have slept this time? A dazed look appeared in Lord Wu's eyes. Although she didn't answer, Lin Mo Yu already knew the answer. He knew that this, Lord Wu, in front of him didn't know how long she had slept, nor did she know what had happened outside. It should be said that if he hadn't appeared here, she would still be in a deep sleep. Thinking about it this way, this artifact spirit seems a bit pitiful. Lin Mo Yu asked, Lord Wu, you are the artifact spirit of the Inheritance Tower and the Cloud Mist Hall, right? Lord Wu's fur stood on end, and she screamed, how do you know? At this time, she realized that she had slipped up again. Whether this lord is an artifact spirit or not, is none of your business. Lin Mo Yu smiled slightly, I guess, if I enter the Inheritance Tower and obtain the highest inheritance, I will become your master. You don't want others to control you, so you don't want me to enter the Inheritance Tower, am I right? Lord Wu stopped talking, her expression extremely complicated. Lin Mo Yu knew that he had guessed correctly. Actually, there's nothing to it, it's human nature, and the same goes for artifact spirits. Lord Wu looked at Lin Mo Yu blankly, then snorted, what do you know, you're not an artifact spirit. Lin Moyu said, although I am not an artifact spirit, I have dealt with artifact spirits, so I understand. No wonder you could see it, so you knew it all along. Lord Wu suddenly realized that Lin Moyu had been trying to trick her all along. Lin Moyu smiled, Lord Wu, I choose to enter the inheritance tower, please help me open the door. Limited by the rules, Lord Wu had no choice but to comply with Lin Moyu's request. She snorted, and the thick fog in the cloud mist hall rolled, forming a road leading directly to the top of the hall. Above the top of the hall is the inheritance tower. Lin Moyu raised his foot and was about to go up. Lord Wu said urgently, you haven't told me what happened outside. Lin Moyu smiled freely, don't worry, I will slowly tell you after I successfully obtain the inheritance. Moreover, I will also tell you a secret. Saying that, he walked up step by step. Lord Wu could only watch helplessly, unable to stop him. She is an artifact spirit, with many restrictions. This is the inheritance land of the Cloud Mist sect, and also the rule world of a strong person. In this kind of environment, her former master could not possibly give her too much authority, but rather there would be many restrictions. The most she can do is to assist and do some things within her ability. Lin Moyu could guess that she should have been very busy. There should be many people in the Cloud Mist sect, the more people who come here, the busier she is. But when the people are gone, she completely falls into a deep sleep. After waking up, she doesn't know what happened in the meantime, nor does she know how long time has passed. All she has is her past memories, so she doesn't want to be so busy anymore, she wants a little freedom. It's a pity, she won't have freedom. She doesn't know that if Lin Moyu chooses the inheritance in the Cloud Mist Hall and then leaves, she will fall into a deep sleep again in an instant. Compared to those artifact spirits he had seen before, this Lord Wu in front of him is a bit pitiful. Being unable to control one's own life is a major tragedy, and she is like that. Lin Moyu stepped onto the cloud and mist steps and entered the inheritance tower. The scene in front of him changed. The inheritance tower has an independent space, completely different from the outside world. Here, Lin Moyu felt a peculiar aura, similar to the law, but also seemed to be higher than the law. At this time, Lord Wu reappeared in his sight. Lord Wu changed her previous attitude, with helplessness, all right, now that you've come in, let's start the inheritance assessment according to the rules. I will tell you the specific rules of the inheritance, but you also promised me that you will tell me what happened outside, and the secret you mentioned. Lin Moyu said, Lord Wu, don't worry, I will definitely tell you what happened outside, and that secret. Telling himself the assessment rules is something she must do. However, she can also completely do something here, such as saying one or two words less. Sometimes a difference of one word can make the meaning of the entire sentence different, thereby causing some big trouble. The artifact spirit is limited by the rules, but the rules cannot completely limit it in all aspects. The artifact spirit is an artifact spirit, it has spirituality, can think for itself, and has an independent consciousness. Lord Wu said seriously, the inheritance tower has a total of 10 floors, the 10th floor is where the supreme inheritance is located, and the assessment is concentrated on the first 9 floors. Every 3 times is a stage, divided into upper, middle and lower sections, which is both an assessment and a rating of the sect's successors. The first 3 floors are for ordinary successors, the middle 3 floors are for core successors, and the upper 3 floors are for Great Tao successors. If you can exceed the 9th floor, you can surpass the Great Tao successor and obtain the supreme inheritance. At the same time, you can also become the master of the inheritance tower. Speaking of this, Lord Wu paused, and then began to talk about the specific rules of the assessment. The first stage is the assessment of the lower 3 floors. There is a spell in the lower 3 floors, what you have to do is to comprehend this spell. Preliminary comprehension, you can enter the 2nd floor. Comprehension to a small success, you can enter the 3rd floor. Comprehension to a great success, you can enter the 4th floor. As for the assessment rules of the 4th floor, I will continue to talk about it after you enter. The following is a reminder, listen carefully. Lin Moyu listened carefully, not letting go of a single word. Although this spell is the basic spell of the Cloud Mist sect, you can't underestimate it. Many spells of the Cloud Mist sect are based on it. When you are comprehending, you must not have any omissions, do not be eager for quick success, otherwise the subsequent assessment will not be possible to pass. Also, comprehending this spell consumes a lot of soul power, you must be mentally prepared. The spell is in the mist, go and comprehend it. Chapter 1970. It turns out this is the real source. In the center of the inheritance tower, a cloud of mist floats. The cloud mist sect is related to cloud and mist everywhere, and even the inheritance is used with cloud and mist. Lin Moyu used his soul to communicate with the mist, and the mist immediately drilled in with soul power. A cloud of mist also appeared in the soul world. The mist rolled endlessly, transmitting a large amount of information. Lin Moyu knew that he needed to comprehend this spell, and then turn it into a spell planet. As long as he can transform the mist into a spell planet, it means that he has mastered this spell, at least reaching the entry level. Is there any meaning to such an inheritance? Lin Moyu had doubts in his heart. The spell planet is formed acquired, just like the soul-splitting method that Antares taught himself. It can never become a spell star. If one cannot become a spell star, then the power will be limited, and the improvement to strength will also be relatively limited. However, since the Cloud Mist sect is doing this, there must be a deeper meaning. Many things from the ancient times, Lin Moyu does not yet understand. The strong of that time and the strong of today seem to have some kind of difference. Now that he has arrived here, he only has one path to take, to comprehend the spell. If he cannot comprehend it, then he will be trapped here, for as little as decades or centuries, or as long as thousands of years. Lin Moyu has confidence in his own comprehension and is working hard to digest the information being transmitted. Soon he knew the name of the spell, Fortune Detection Technique. The purpose of the Fortune Detection Technique is to detect the luck of all things. But it is not completely accurate, it can only detect about 80 or 90%. The key is not the spell itself, but the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy contained within. The Cloud Mist sect has a completely different view of the entire world. After Lin Moyu absorbed the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy, he was stunned on the spot. If he can understand that living beings have luck, he can understand it. But the idea that all things have luck is beyond his imagination. In the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy, all things in the world have luck. Even a stone has good or bad luck. A stone with good luck may exist for 10,000 years, or even 100,000 years. But a stone with bad luck may be smashed into dust in the next second. All things are like this: when luck is bad, they will have bad luck, or even die. Too profound. Lin Moyu felt very uncomfortable. Since he began cultivating, he has seen many bizarre things, but no matter what, he can find the root cause and know why. But the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy shattered his viewpoint. In the Cloud Mist sect's thinking, it is true that all things have luck, but luck is constantly changing. It may be very good now, but bad luck will come in the next second. It's like, one second you think the other person will live a long life, and the next second you feel like they are going to die. The Cloud Mist sect's explanation is that luck changes in an instant, and nothing is fixed at any point. In this case, the fortune detection technique seems unimportant. Anyway, what's the point of seeing it? Good now doesn't mean good in the future. Lin Moyu was a little confused and felt like his whole person was not well. It's very uncomfortable to have one's inherent knowledge broken. His brows furrowed tighter and tighter, and he couldn't figure it out. Master Wu sat on the white clouds, staring at Lin Moyu with bright, big eyes. Seeing the changes in Lin Moyu's expression, she sighed a long sigh. I told you long ago, don't come to the inheritance tower, but you wouldn't listen. Now you're in trouble, don't drive yourself crazy. Lin Moyu's thoughts were indeed a bit chaotic. The Cloud Mist sect's philosophy conflicted greatly with his original concepts. This was a difference in the perception of the entire world, and it was impossible to reconcile. His brain kept running, and Lin Moyu kept telling himself, there must be common ground. Just because I haven't found it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. As long as I can find the common ground, I can understand why. He vaguely felt that the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy seemed to contain some kind of truth. As long as he could understand this truth, he could combine his old concepts with the Cloud Mist sect's concepts, allowing the two concepts to merge with each other, rather than conflict with each other. Understanding and absorbing the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy is the first step. If he can't even do this, then don't even talk about comprehending the fortune detection technique. Even if he forcibly comprehends it, he can only enter the door at most, and it is impossible to comprehend it to great success. But what is the common ground? Lin Moyu's brain was spinning rapidly, sorting out his entire worldview. This is a vast project, very difficult. Time passed day by day, and Lin Moyu sat there motionless. At the foot of Cloud Mist Mountain, Holy Venerable Hao was also like a sculpture, standing there quietly, staring intently at the inheritance tower on the top of the mountain. The first floor of the inheritance tower was currently glowing slightly, which meant that Lin Moyu had already entered it. Holy Venerable Hao felt that Lin Moyu was accepting the inheritance. The time to accept the inheritance could be long or short, possibly very quickly, only a few days. It could also be very slow, perhaps taking several years, or even decades. Holy Venerable Hao had already made the worst plan. He would wait and watch here. He is a Holy Venerable, he can afford to wait for this time. 100 days passed in the blink of an eye, and Lin Moyu's aura surged all over his body, which was enough to show how magnificent the waves in his heart were. He had completely overturned his memory, integrating and understanding the cloud mist sect's philosophy from his own experiences. He simulated in his soul what would happen if the events that had happened were viewed with the cloud mist sect's philosophy. During this period, the power of the soul was rapidly consumed. Fortunately, there was the existence of the world tree. The world tree kept swaying, and the two powerful roots absorbed vast power from an unknown world, all of which was transformed into the power of the soul, continuously supplying it to Lin Moyu. Golden lines of light flowed on the world tree, which was the divine power poured out by the divine province cauldron, magnifying the power of the world tree. It turned his 1 point of power into 10 points, and also allowed Lin Moyu to recover at a speed far exceeding the normal speed. Since obtaining the power of divinity has always existed subtly, not usually appearing, but its effect has always existed. And as the realm improves, the effect of the power of divinity is also improving. With or without the power of divinity, the recovery effect brought by the world tree will be completely different. With the support of the world tree, Lin Moyu recklessly consumed the power of the soul, simulating the things that had happened one by one. Gradually, he had a clue. He finally began to understand the essence of the cloud mist sect's philosophy. The aura that had been surging violently for 100 days finally began to turn calm, and a hint of a smile appeared on Lin's lips. So that's how it is. He let out a long breath, and the eyes that had been closed for 100 days opened accordingly. A burst of bright light burst out in his eyes. He finally understood. The real root of the so-called changes in luck and the changes in all things lies in cause and effect. He understood the cloud mist sect's philosophy. All things in the world are indeed constantly changing. On the surface, luck has become better or worse. Good luck, for living beings, everything will become smooth and they can live longer. For objects, good luck can allow them to exist for a longer time. For some special existences, good luck can even allow them to give birth to spiritual intelligence. For example, Red Star Supreme, there are many stars like him, but few can give birth to spiritual intelligence. And the root of good luck behind it is in cause and effect. Behind the operation of the entire world, there is also a hidden and undetectable network, and that network is called cause and effect. Changes in cause and effect will cause changes in luck. This is the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect. The root of the Cloud Mist sect's various spells on luck is cause and effect. Chapter 1971 Enlightenment, the Real World. When Lin Moyu woke up, the first thing he saw was a pair of bright eyes. Master Wu came to Lin Moyu and immediately asked after confirming that Lin Moyu was fully awake, "You're awake, how is it, did you learn the fortune detection technique?" As the spirit of the inheritance tower, she is naturally very clear about the things in the inheritance tower. The first to third floors are for learning the fortune detection technique. According to the degree of control over the fortune detection technique, it is decided whether to go up to the next floor or be eliminated. The most miserable thing is naturally not being able to comprehend it, then you will be locked here and continue to comprehend it. Either comprehend it successfully, or be kicked out of the inheritance tower after a certain period of time. Lin Moyu shook his head. "I didn't learn it." He told the truth, he didn't learn it, he didn't even bother to learn it. He had been comprehending the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy on this world, the luck-seeking technique was not important. Hearing Lin Mo's reply, Master Mist spread out her hands, like an elder scolding a junior. "I told you, you should have just chosen a Cloud Mist Hall inheritance, why did you have to enter the inheritance tower? Now look, you can't comprehend it, and you're stuck here. Luckily, it's just the first level, being locked up for 100 years or so should be enough." Lin Mo said with a smile, "You don't seem to like me being locked up here." Master Mist snorted, "With you locked up here, I have to keep an eye on you, it's annoying just looking at you." Lin Mo could feel that this artifact spirit girl was actually quite kind and didn't have many schemes. She didn't know that if he left, she would fall into a deep sleep. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have said that. Lin Mo said, although I haven't learned the luck-seeking technique these days, I have comprehended some other things. Master Mist seemed disdainful. Besides the luck-seeking technique, what else can you comprehend? Lin Mo said, it's the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy on this world. What? Master Mist suddenly let out a shriek, her whole being seeming to bristle up. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Lin Mo was very curious, why is it impossible? Master Mist was so excited that she spun her white cloud in the air before speaking. I've been here for many, many years, and only 3 people in total have understood the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy. The old master said that very, very few people can understand this philosophy, and each one has the potential to become a celestial venerable. Lin Mo said with a smile, then why do you think it's impossible for me? Master Mist snorted, I think your aptitude is mediocre, not the smart type, so naturally it's impossible. Moreover, besides the old master, the other 2 comprehended it for many, many years, at least several thousand years, before they understood it. How long have you been here? How could you possibly understand it? Lin Mo had comprehended it for 100 days, and 100 days was far from 1,000 years. Listening to Master Mist's words, Lin Mo realized that her master was not a supreme, but most likely a celestial venerable. He thought for a moment and said, I can tell that you admire your old master very much. Master Mist snorted, don't mention him, although he is the master, although he is very powerful, I hate him, always ordering me to do this and that, it's so annoying. Lin Mo felt that this artifact spirit was interesting. In addition to autonomous consciousness, even emotions were no different from the human race. If she had a human body, she could be completely regarded as a person, much stronger than the erased spirit Xiao Jin. Lin Mo continued, your old master is indeed very powerful. After all, he manages the entire Cloud Mist sect's inheritance, even you are under his control. Although Master Mist kept saying that she didn't like her old master, she still said proudly, that's right, my old master is a celestial venerable. People say that even among celestial venerables, there are not many more powerful than the old master. Indeed a celestial venerable, Lin Mo said to himself, remembering the name, and continued to ask, Master Mist, what is your master's name? Master Mist naturally replied, the old master's title, Illusion Mist. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable. This was the first celestial venerable's name Lin Mo had heard, and he firmly remembered it. At this time, Master Mist continued, don't say these nonsense words, you said you comprehended the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy, then tell me, what is the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy? Don't even think about deceiving me. The old master told me some things about the Cloud Mist sect back then, although I didn't quite understand them, I still remember them. My memory is very good, no matter how many years, I won't forget. Lin Mo thought for a moment and said calmly, cause and effect, illusion and reality. Master Mist screamed again, and flew up on her white cloud, appearing extremely excited. She flew around and around, and after a long while, she calmed down, you actually really understood it, you understood everything. Lin Mo nodded, I understand it roughly, but there are still some details that need to be sorted out. Master Mist's eyes were extremely complicated. The old master once said that it took him more than 100 years to understand it. You only took 100 days, are you smarter than the old master? If you really understood it, then you really have a chance to reach the highest level and obtain the supreme inheritance. Then you will become someone's new master. You must promise me first, you are not allowed to bully me then. The Master Mist, who was still high above just now, suddenly became a weak little girl, and began to beg. That pitiful look made Lin Mo feel like he had become a bad uncle. Lin Mo smiled, why would I bully you? No matter what the result is, I will tell you what happened these years. Master Mist oed and moved away, then you continue, I won't disturb you. Lin Mo sat down again, closed his eyes, his breath quickly calmed down, and entered the comprehension state again. He really understood, but there were still many details that needed to be sorted out. His old worldview was shattered, and a new worldview began to be established. The soul opened its eyes and began to mutter to itself. The sound was like thunder, resounding throughout the soul world. At this moment, the soul rose with a terrifying aura, incomparably majestic. Cause and effect, yin and yang, illusion and reality. Positive and negative, all things in the world have illusion and reality, positive and negative sides. The laws are also like this, there are laws that represent reality, and there are also laws that represent illusion. Cause and effect are illusionary laws, and the laws of fate are also illusionary laws. They are hidden behind the world, and are the illusory side of the entire world. Although they are invisible and inaudible, they truly exist and can still be comprehended. As long as you use the right method, you can touch them. Compared to illusory laws, real laws can be touched and felt. Even ethereal laws like time and space are actually real laws. Holy Venerable Hao's illusionary realm law, although it has the word illusionary, is actually a real law. Illusory laws are like an invisible net, secretly covering the entire world, and also affecting the entire world. They affect the whole body with one move. Relatively speaking, real laws have a smaller impact. The soul muttered to itself, each sentence resounding like thunder in the soul world. As he said more and more, his understanding of the entire world became clearer. His former worldview merged with the cloud mist sect's philosophy, allowing Lin Mo to see this world more clearly and thoroughly. The soul realm also began to rise sharply at this moment. The soul entered a state of enlightenment. Lin Mo's soul, since reaching the other shore realm, had been raised once, but the increase was not large, and it was still at the peak of the initial other shore realm, one step away from the intermediate level. The soul realm of the other shore realm can be divided into 3 stages: initial, middle, and high. The souls of holy venerables are all in the advanced stage of the other shore realm. The higher the realm, the farther the difference between each level. Therefore, in ancient times, ordinary other shore realms could only be used as cannon fodder, while holy venerables could become the main force. In fact, the other shore realm and the holy venerable are both in the same great realm. After Lin Mo understood the essence of the world, he established a new worldview, and his soul also entered a state of enlightenment. The soul realm almost crossed the boundaries of the initial and intermediate levels of the other shore in the blink of an eye. After reaching the intermediate level of the other shore realm, the momentum became more and more fierce and continued to skyrocket. Lin Mo didn't know his situation at the moment. In a state of enlightenment, his thoughts were running rapidly, constantly comprehending the new views of the world. Various principles of the world, various possibilities of existence, converged into a sea in Lin Mo's mind. Gradually, he began to understand how to build a world of rules. Why is there such a big difference between holy venerables who have rules, even though they are both in the other shore realm? He also knew the difference between the Supreme Realm's world of rules and the Holy Venerable Realm's world of rules. His past experiences all played a huge role at this moment, turning into Lin Mo's accumulation. All the knowledge was integrated at this moment. The Soul Realm continued to improve, approaching the Holy Venerable. The World Tree also benefited from Lin Mo's blessing and became stronger. The World Tree is Lin Mo's talent, and the two are interdependent and co-prosperous. Lin Mo's soul enlightenment also brought great benefits to the World Tree. On the branches, the fastest-growing world fruit was nourished and began to gradually mature. The world fruit became full and ruddy, emitting an alluring luster, and a faint fragrance permeated from the fruit. At this moment, Lin Mo's soul realm was only one step away from the advanced stage of the other shore realm. The enlightenment was nearing its end, and the aura of enlightenment gradually softened and began to dissipate. At this moment, his soul smelled the fragrance of the world fruit, and inspired by a divine prompting, Lin Mo reached out and took the world fruit into his hand. Then, streams of myriad-colored water poured out, a full 1,000 drops of myriad-colored water surged forth, pouring into the world fruit. The power of faith also burned fiercely, and tens of millions of portions of the power of faith instantly merged into the world fruit as well. This already ripe world fruit had its effects multiplied. The 7-colored light became variegated, and affected by the myriad-colored water, all kinds of light could be found on it. Lin Mo's soul revealed a look of satisfaction, and just as he was about to consume the world fruit, suddenly the Earth and Yellow Emperor in the spell, the Supreme Infinite Fusion spell's celestial body, swooshed down, and a hazy light struck the world fruit. All colors vanished in an instant, replaced by a hazy, chaotic color. Lin Mo couldn't describe what kind of color it was, but it was exactly the same as infinite fusion. Chaos Law. His soul, still in the final stages of enlightenment, was far more perceptive than usual. Lin Mo understood almost instantly that this peculiar color belonged only to the Chaos Law. In his new worldview, laws could be divided into 2 categories, virtual and real. But the Chaos Law was between virtual and real, both virtual and real. After the Earth and Yellow Emperor exhaled a breath, it swooshed back to its 33rd heaven, still high above, overlooking all living beings. This is a true big shot. Lin Mo muttered softly, and consumed the world fruit. The world fruit could be consumed by the physical body, or by the soul, with the same effect. The world fruit exploded, and the entire soul world began to rumble. Terrifying power was born out of thin air, setting off a storm in the soul world. Power of rule. Lin Mo felt this power and realized that it belonged to the power of rule of the other shore realm. The rule world is constructed from the power of rule. After the power of rule appeared, the first step was to rush to the soul. It helped the soul to push one last time, pushing the soul into the advanced stage of the other shore realm, the Holy Venerable realm. As the soul achieved the Holy Venerable state, Lin Mo suddenly understood that only a Holy Venerable realm soul could withstand the rule world. The power of the world fruit was far from exhausted, and a large amount of power of rule continued to set off a violent storm in the soul world. The originally enormous soul world, driven by the storm, became larger and larger. The purple jade barriers glittered, becoming more and more solid. In the blink of an eye, the soul world doubled in size, and Lin Mo finally understood what the prototype of the rule world was. So, the rule world is the sublimation of the soul world. Taking the soul world as the core, evolving the rule world, if the soul is not strong enough, it cannot afford the rule world. But besides the soul, the power of the physical body is equally important. The purple gold body burst into golden light at this moment, and the power of the physical body was integrated with the rule world, further enhancing the power of the rule world. As the prototype of the rule world formed, the entire world was extremely empty, and the spell-white stars became the stars in the rule world. Lin Mo's soul and the world tree together became the center of this rule world. The entire rule world could be freely controlled according to Lin Mo's will. He could create continents, turning the entire rule world into a vast continent. He could also create stars, and turn it into a galaxy. Lin Mo thought for a while, and decided to use the Great World as a template to build his own rule world. But this would have to wait until he returned to the Great World. Building his own rule world in the Heavenly Venerable's rule world was not realistic. The laws needed could not be sensed here. Moreover, Lin Mo knew that when he returned to the real world, there would be a huge baptism waiting for him. I didn't expect that an enlightenment would allow me to construct the prototype of the rule world. I really don't know if I am a God Venerable or a Holy Venerable now. Lin Mo thought that his special situation was probably never seen even in ancient times. When he goes out, it is estimated that Holy Venerable How will be shocked. Don't think too much, it's time to comprehend the luck detection technique. Lin Mo officially began to comprehend the luck detection technique. The luck detection technique is not complicated, Lin Mo can easily master it. Especially now, after understanding that the essence of the luck detection technique is the law of cause and effect, it is easier to learn. The luck detection technique only evokes a trace of the law of cause and effect to detect the current luck of others. The law of cause and effect is ethereal and difficult to comprehend, but it has nothing to do with the luck detection technique. Lin Mo doesn't need to comprehend the law of cause and effect, he only needs to control the luck detection technique, and learn how to use the luck detection technique. Just like the truth-gazing technique of the Buddhas in the Buddha kingdom, it evokes a trace of the law of destiny. He doesn't need to understand the law of destiny, he only needs to be able to use the truth-gazing technique. With Lin Mo's ability, controlling the luck detection technique is not difficult. In a short while, he had already understood the true meaning of the luck detection technique and could use it. The mist absorbed into the soul before also condensed into shape at this moment, turning into a spell planet. Compared to other spell-white stars, this newly born spell planet is pitifully small. Chapter 1973. I seem to have a few great-granddaughters. As soon as the spell planet was formed, it meant that Lin Mo had mastered the luck detection technique. Moreover, relying on his understanding of the law of cause and effect, the virtual and real worlds, coupled with the soul of the Holy Venerable realm. The fusion degree of the luck detection technique reached more than 50% as soon as it was mastered. Then it is to increase the fusion degree, so that its fusion degree reaches 99%. Because it is a technique mastered after birth, under normal circumstances, it is impossible to reach 100% fusion, 99% is the limit. The world tree dropped its branches, and a large amount of soul power was injected into the spell planet. The spell planet suddenly rotated rapidly, and the fusion degree continued to increase. Lin Mo's current soul is too strong, and his perception is also sufficient to push the luck detection technique to 99%. Outside, Lin Mo slowly opened his eyes. This time, the slightly cute Mist Master was watching Lin Mo from afar, without approaching. Her expression seemed to carry a trace of shock. Lin Mo asked strangely, "What's wrong with you?" Mist Master murmured, "You were scary just now." Lin Mo was in a state of enlightenment just now, and did not know the condition of his physical body, so he had to shake his head to indicate that he did not know. Mist Master said carefully, "You have cultivated the purple gold body, and you have just enlightened, and you have established a rule world, right? As the spirit of the inheritance tower, she has existed for who knows how many years. The number of strong people in ancient times must be much more than now. Sure, Holy Venerable, Supreme, this Mist Master must have seen many. Although she looks a little confused, she will understand many things that she should understand. Moreover, Heavenly Venerable Illusory Mist obviously treated her well. If Heavenly Venerable Illusory Mist gave lectures, she would probably be able to listen. So whether it is the purple gold body, enlightenment, or the rule world, she cannot hide it from her." Lin Mo also generously admitted, "Mist Master is very smart, you are right." Mist Master snorted, "Of course this master is smart, but how can you be like this?" She rushed to Lin Mo, flying around Lin Mo in circles, looking again and again, "You are a god Venerable, cultivating the purple gold body, you are already very powerful. But you can still enlighten," the old master said, "people who can enlighten are 1 in a billion, this is a great opportunity I 1/4. That's okay, but how can you establish a rule world, you are not a holy Venerable. Mist Master seems to have no city, and does not know that some questions cannot be asked." Lin Mo didn't care, "I might be lucky." Mistress Wu clearly didn't believe it, "Am I that easy to fool? If you don't want to say, then don't, it's not a big deal. You've already attained enlightenment, you should have mastered the cloud-seeking art, you can start challenging the tower now." Lin Moyu asked, "Please, Mistress Wu, explain the method of challenging the tower in detail." Although Mistress Wu was a bit delicate, she didn't dare to go too far with Lin Moyu, who was very likely to become her new master. Following the rules, she pointed to the stone tablet in the depths of the space, "Just use the cloud-seeking art on it, and it will send you to the corresponding floor based on your mastery of the art." Lin Moyu hummed, "Thank you, Mistress Wu." Walking to the depths, he waved his hand at the stone tablet and used the cloud-seeking art. A number appeared on the stone tablet, 50. At the same time, a color that only he could see appeared on the stone tablet, green. In the cloud-seeking art, the luckiest person has a score of 100, and the color is red. That means being incredibly lucky, everything goes smoothly, and all wishes come true. If it's 50 and green, then it's ordinary luck, hard to tell if it's good or bad. Simple things might succeed, but difficult things will fail. If the value is lower than 25 and the color is gray, then the luck is quite bad. If you encounter some danger at this time, it's not impossible to die and have your Tao extinguished. Luck is an ethereal thing, deeply connected to the laws of cause and effect, making it really difficult to grasp. Before comprehending the laws of cause and effect, Lin Moyu could only know what it is, but not why it is. Anyway, no matter what, being able to fully master the art is enough. After a few seconds, the stone tablet radiated light and enveloped Lin Moyu. The scene in front of him rippled like water, and Lin Moyu felt like he had experienced a short teleportation. When his vision returned to normal, Lin Moyu saw Mistress Wu again. Mistress Wu said in surprise, "You actually completely mastered it." Before Lin Moyu could speak, she muttered to herself, "Oh right, you've already attained enlightenment, even comprehending the cloud mist sect's philosophy, what is the cloud-seeking art?" Lin Moyu asked, "Mistress Wu, am I on the 4th floor now?" Mistress Wu hummed in agreement, "It's still the old rules, the mist you need to comprehend is in the middle." The rules hadn't changed. Lin Moyu once again came to the middle, used his soul to communicate with the mist, and began a new comprehension. Below Cloud Mist Mountain, Saint Venerable Hao saw the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors of the Inheritance Tower light up simultaneously, and couldn't help but clench his fist, and shouted in a low voice, "Good." The changes in the Inheritance Tower also attracted the attention of the old ancestors in the village. Heavens, he's entered the Inheritance Tower. Not only did he enter, but he's also on the 4th floor. Someone scorned, "You say it like you know the rules of the Inheritance Tower." TCH, I don't know the rules, but being able to reach the 4th floor is definitely not ordinary. I have hundreds of granddaughters, thousands of great-granddaughters, all of whom can marry him. I 1/4 A. It's like saying I don't have any granddaughters, my granddaughters can also marry him. The youngsters could only retreat in the face of a bunch of shameless old guys. These old guys in the village all wanted to marry their granddaughters to Lin Moyu, and the combined number of these granddaughters was estimated to be tens of thousands. Saint Venerable Hao's eyebrows twitched as he listened. How can these old guys be so shameless? I seem to have a few great-granddaughters too. Fourth floor of the inheritance tower, Lin Moyu used his soul to communicate with the mist. The mist once again entered the soul world, directly finding the art planet where the cloud-seeking art was located. At the same time, Lin Moyu also received the art information. This time, the difficulty of the art was much more difficult than the cloud-seeking art. It wasn't a new art, but a sublimation based on the cloud-seeking art. The art was called luck manipulation art, and its function was to control luck. For example, increasing luck or decreasing luck. It worked on both oneself and others. It's just that the degree of control varied from person to person. Some people could increase it from 50 to 8 Wang Lihao 0, while others could only increase it to 60, or even 55. The same was true for decreasing luck. The amount of luck decreased also varied from person to person. The luck affected by the luck manipulation art was only temporary and would disappear after a certain period of time. The length of the influence was related to the strength of the caster. It can actually manipulate luck. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised, but he thought of the mysterious power in the Cloud Mist Mountain test. Wasn't that mysterious power suppressing his luck? Manipulating luck involves more laws of cause and effect. There should be restrictions and it can't be used casually. If you face someone with particularly strong luck, suppressing their luck might cause a backlash. The art didn't explicitly state it, but Lin Moyu still analyzed some information based on his superficial understanding of the laws of cause and effect. The luck manipulation art, like the world of illusion and reality, had two sides and couldn't be used arbitrarily. When used well, it was a sharp blade to slay enemies. When used poorly, it was a quick knife to cut oneself. Chapter 1974 Adjusting Luck, Bearing Cause and Effect. Lin Moyu quickly learned and comprehended the luck manipulation art, deeply realizing that it was a sublimation of the cloud-seeking art, and it was extremely difficult to manipulate the ethereal luck. It involved more laws of cause and effect, and Lin Moyu forcibly resisted the urge to comprehend the laws of cause and effect, only studying the luck manipulation art. Once he started studying the laws of cause and effect, it wouldn't be something that could be solved in a short period of time, and hundreds of years might pass. He temporarily let himself be someone who knew what it was, but not why it was. However, Lin Moyu still realized that the luck manipulation art was like his undead wings and curse of time, which could be used as a reference for the laws of cause and effect. In the future, if I have the opportunity, I can study it carefully. Lin Moyu's heart was already attracted by the laws of cause and effect. This kind of illusory law, like the laws of time and space, had a fatal attraction. He had a feeling that if he wanted to reach the ultimate peak, he also needed the combination of illusion and reality. The combination of illusion and reality, the mutual illumination of yin and yang, was the essence of this world. The luck manipulation art was not easy. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had enough comprehension, and it couldn't stop him. Before long, he also comprehended and mastered the luck manipulation art. The mist that originally enveloped the art planet quickly merged into it, merging with the cloud-seeking art. Lin Moyu discovered that the cloud-seeking art he had just mastered had disappeared, and had become the upgraded version of the luck manipulation art. The luck manipulation art had all 073 functions of the cloud-seeking art, could also detect luck, and also increase the ability to control it. The art planet formed by the cloud-seeking art, which had been completely integrated with the mist, began to rotate rapidly. The speed became faster and faster, and even lightning appeared on it. This scene seemed familiar. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. This is going to sublimate. The process of art sublimation, where an art planet becomes an art star, seemed to be like this. After the rotation reached a certain level, the entire planet exploded with a bang. Immediately afterwards, an art star shining with bright light rose slowly in the center of the explosion. An art planet can actually sublimate into an art star. Lin Moyu was really shocked this time. The events in front of him once again subverted his understanding. He thought of what Antares had once said: if an art acquired after birth didn't have heaven-defying luck, it was impossible to become an art star. But where was there any heaven-defying luck right now? How did it sublimate? This was too unbelievable, Lin Moyu couldn't understand it at all. However, this also made Lin Moyu realize how powerful the Cloud Mist sect was as an ancient sect. The so-called heaven-defying luck was just the inheritance in the Cloud Mist sect. However, upon careful sensing, the newly born BDEH art star was still different from his art stars. At the time of a star's birth, although there would also be a Big Bang, there was no black hole with visible Great World runes. Compared to his own spell-based stars, it seemed a bit weaker. Lin Moyu regained consciousness, and Master Wu seemed a little impatient, immediately asking, "How is it, did you learn it?" She seemed a little uneasy, but also a little excited. It was as if she hoped that Lin Moyu could learn it, but also didn't want Lin Moyu to learn it. This contradictory thought was fully displayed on her expression. Lin Moyu looked at the stone tablet in the distance, still using the stone tablet as a test subject, right? Master Wu said, "That's right, there are 3 stone tablets there, each with different luck. You need to adjust their luck, bring them closer to each other, and the difference between the lowest and highest cannot exceed 10 points. Okay. Lin Moyu walked towards the stone tablet. The requirement was that the difference should not exceed 10 points to pass. But this was only the foundation. If he wanted to get better results, he needed to make the luck values of the stone tablets closer, preferably exactly the same. Arriving in front of the stone tablet, Lin Moyu cast the luck manipulation technique that he had just mastered, and the 3 stone tablets immediately reflected their respective luck values. The stone tablet on the left had a value of 80, presenting a light red color. The middle stone tablet had a value of 60, presenting a green color. The stone tablet on the right had a value of 40, presenting a light green color. When luck exceeds 80, the color changes from green to red, and as luck increases, the red color becomes more and more intense. Once luck falls below 20, it presents a gray color, indicating very bad luck, and nothing will go smoothly. Between 21 and 79, it presents different shades of green, indicating correct luck. Whether something can be accomplished depends on the difficulty of the matter. Like the luck of the stone tablet, because it doesn't involve other things, the probability of change is extremely low. Living beings are different, because living beings are constantly active, so their luck value is also constantly changing. A sentence, a thought, or something about to be done can all affect luck value. The luck manipulation technique can only reflect the luck value at the current time node. According to the method of the luck manipulation technique, Lin Moyu began to adjust the luck values of the stone tablets. Taking the middle stone tablet as the benchmark, he wanted to lower the luck value of the left stone tablet. The luck manipulation technique was activated, and the luck value of the stone tablet immediately changed. It changed from light red to a deep green, and the value also changed from 80 to 79. At this time, Lin Moyu felt as if his soul was under some kind of pressure, a force from the dark, falling on his soul. This is karma. I adjusted the luck value of the stone tablet, planted a cause, and must bear the effect of the stone tablet. What this effect is, cannot be determined, but the cause and effect have been established, and I must bear this effect. Lin Moyu's heart was as clear as a mirror, and he immediately understood what was happening. The law of karma is like a void net, it exists in the illusory aspect of the great world. Everything done at ordinary times establishes karma. Every cause has an effect, these causal relationships are constantly established and constantly broken. Some karma is offset, and some accumulates. The net of the law of karma operates in the void world in this way, and no one can escape it. Previously, he couldn't feel karma, and only saw the lines of karma under specific circumstances. That was the manifestation of the law of karma, basically useless. Now, he has obtained part of the inheritance of Yun Wunong, and through the luck manipulation technique he can finally feel the karma falling on him. Lin Moyu had a new understanding of karma, but his hands didn't stop, continuing to adjust the value. From unfamiliar to skilled, Lin Moyu's adjustment speed became faster and faster. As the luck of the stone tablet decreased, more and more karma fell on him, and the resistance to adjustment became greater and greater. Soul power was being rapidly consumed. Adjusting the other party's luck required vast soul power. Fortunately, Lin Moyu's soul replenishment speed was fast, and this consumption was nothing. In just 5 minutes, Lin Moyu fixed the luck value of the left stone tablet at 60, not a point more, not a point less. It seems a little simple. The adjustment was too simple. Lin Moyu felt a little strange. He felt that any high-level god Venerable could do it. Thinking was one thing, doing was another. Next was to adjust the stone tablet on the right, this time to increase the luck value. Again, karma was established. Different from lowering the luck value, when increasing the luck value, Lin Moyu found that the pressure on his soul was even greater. Not only did the consumption of soul power increase, but a sense of emptiness arose spontaneously, and his body became heavy. Lin Moyu realized that increasing luck was not easy, he had to bear greater karma. Just as he was adjusting, he suddenly discovered that the luck value of the left stone tablet had actually begun to slowly rise again. So the difficulty lies here. Chapter 1975, Advanced Inheritance, Luck Like a Dragon. The stone tablet told Lin Moyu with facts that even inanimate objects would still have constantly changing luck values. The luck value of this stone tablet was 80. No matter how Lin Moyu adjusted it, whether rising or falling, it would return to its original value after a period of time. This was only an inanimate object. If it were a living being, the changes would be even more drastic. At the same time, Lin Moyu also realized that the luck manipulation technique should only be used at the most critical time, neither too early nor too late. Facing the left stone tablet that was slowly rising again, Lin Moyu once again used the luck manipulation technique to adjust its luck value. Multitasking was not difficult for Lin Moyu at all. This time the speed was faster than before. In just 2 minutes, the luck value had been adjusted. The luck values of the 3 stone tablets were all steadily at 60, looking exactly the same. However, Lin Moyu continued to make subtle adjustments. He found that although the values were the same, the colors displayed were still slightly different. He realized that it was not enough to just look at the accuracy of the values. Ordinary cultivators might not notice this, after all, the difference was already very small. But it couldn't hide from him. His keen soul allowed him to clearly feel the difference. After another half a minute of adjustment, not only were the values of the 3 stone tablets the same, but even the colors became exactly the same, with no even the slightest difference. Lin Moyu maintained this state and waited for about 10 seconds. The stone tablets vibrated simultaneously, and the connection between him and the stone tablets broke. Lin Moyu felt that the karma between himself and the stone tablets was broken. The karma that had been established before had now disappeared. The 3 stone tablets simultaneously bloomed with brilliant light, and the scene in front of him rippled again like water. When the picture became clear again, Lin Moyu knew that he had reached another level. It should be the 7th level. Lin Moyu believed that he had done a perfect job. If even he couldn't reach the 7th level like this, it would be even more difficult for others. Master Wu appeared in his line of sight, her expression still full of disbelief. Although she had been shocked many times, she still couldn't help but be shocked again. How did you do it? How did you pass in one go? Lin Moyu smiled, it doesn't seem difficult. Master Wu screamed strangely, how can it not be difficult? Very few people can pass in one go. Even if you can adjust the luck values to be the same, you can only be teleported to the 6th level at most. To get to the 7th level, you also need to adjust the colors to be the same on the basis of the same luck values. Adjusting the luck values is easy, but adjusting the colors is difficult, and you also need to multitask. 1 in 10,000 people can do it. You are really amazing, it's over, I'm going to have a new master, and I'm going to have endless things to do. Master Wu seemed very worried about her future fate, with a worried look on her face. Lin Moyu smiled, don't worry, even if I become your new master, you won't have too many things to do. Master Wu's eyes lit up, really? Lin Moyu smiled, I promise. Saying that, he walked towards the center of the 7th level to accept the new inheritance. At the foot of Yunwu Mountain, Hao Shengjun saw that the inheritance tower had lit up to the 7th level, and once again let out a low shout, well done. Then his eyes flickered, and he muttered to himself, besides this Venerable One's great-granddaughter, there are also several disciples, and the disciples seem to also have granddaughters. Unknowingly, Hao Shengjun's thoughts were led astray by the village's improper old man. Inheritance Tower, 7th floor, Advanced Inheritance. Apart from the Supreme Inheritance, this is already the highest inheritance in the Cloud Mist sect. Even in the past Cloud Mist sect, not many people could reach here. Most disciples could only master the A-controlling luck technicae. The cloud and mist still shrouded the spell star of the A-controlling luck technicae, which made Lin Mo realize that the spell star could still be improved. Could it be that it can continue to be upgraded to a white star level? Isn't that too heaven-defying? A large amount of information poured into his soul, and Lin Mo immediately calmed his mind to accept the inheritance. The third inheritance was A Exploding Luck Technicaea, which was still about controlling luck, and was a further sublimation of the A Controlling Luck Technicaea. Compared to the gentleness of A Controlling Luck Technicaea, A Exploding Luck Technicaea underwent a complete transformation, becoming incredibly intense. A Exploding Luck Technicaea has two uses. One is to detonate the other party's luck, directly attacking the other party with the power of cause and effect. The strength of the attack that detonates luck is a combination of various factors, such as one's own soul power, luck, and the other party's luck. Generally speaking, the stronger one's own soul power, the higher the luck value, and the lower the other party's luck value, the greater the power. If the strengths of the two sides are similar and their luck is similar, A Exploding Luck Technicaea will not have much effect. However, how could the Cloud Mist sect, which was able to become an ancient great sect, not have considered this point? How could A Exploding Luck Technicaea, which can become their advanced inheritance, be so useless? In addition to detonating the other party's luck, another function of A Exploding Luck Technicaea is to detonate one's own luck. Here, detonating means causing one's own luck to skyrocket. AAA Seeking Fresh Flowers 0 AAAAA. First use A Exploding Luck Technicaea to make your own luck skyrocket, and then use A Controlling Luck Technicaea to weaken the other party's luck. Finally, use A Exploding Luck Technicaea to detonate the other party's luck. With the ebb and flow, the other party will have to endure a terrible causal attack. According to the inheritance, as long as you practice A Exploding Luck Technicaea to the extreme, you will basically be invincible in the same realm. What a heaven-defying spell. The senior who created this spell is definitely a genius. How did they think of this? Without understanding the law of cause and effect, they directly used luck to trigger the law of cause and effect to attack. Lin Mo was extremely impressed with the Cloud Mist sect. The person who could come up with such a spell must be a heavenly venerate undoubtedly. As far as he knew, Supreme could not reach this level. Although A Exploding Luck Technicaea is very strong, it also has a drawback: it is too difficult to comprehend. Lin Mo discovered from the inheritance of A Exploding Luck Technicaea that if he could not understand the worldview of the Cloud Mist sect, he would at most only grasp a little bit of the superficial knowledge of A Exploding Luck Technicaea, and it would be difficult to achieve the invincibility in the same realm mentioned in the inheritance. The Cloud Mist sect is not only limited to these three spells, but also has many powerful offensive techniques. Even if only A Controlling Luck Technicaea is used in conjunction with them, it is already terrifyingly strong. Lin Mo comprehended A Exploding Luck Technicaea and knew that the previous A Exploring Luck Technicaea and A Controlling Luck Technicaea were actually preparing for A Exploding Luck Technicaea. This spell is the real culmination of all techniques. Lin Mo is now looking forward to what the Supreme Inheritance will be. The comprehension of A Exploding Luck Technicaea is not the same as before. Even Lin Mo needs to spend a lot of time and needs to integrate his ideas about the virtual and real world with it. Time passed bit by bit, and Lin Mo sat motionless in place. Master Mist seemed a little bored, looking at Lin Mo on the left and Lin Mo on the right. She did not disturb Lin Mo, and her eyes were always filled with anxiety. If Lin Mo really becomes the new master, I wonder how he will treat her. Where did her old master go, and why did he disappear? Although Master Mist is a spirit of an artifact, she has rich emotions, no worse than any living being. 30 days later, Lin Mo's breath, which had been silent for a long time, fluctuated again. A strong aura rose from his body, and an invisible force hovered above Lin Mo's head, like clouds and mist, faintly making the sound of a dragon's roar. Looking closely, there was indeed a dragon hovering in the clouds and mist, majestic and powerful. Master Mist's eyes widened. Luck is like a dragon, it really is luck like a dragon, his luck is too strong. 5. Chapter 1976 Unreadable Law of Cause and Effect. After a while, Lin Mo opened his eyes. A hint of joy appeared in his eyes. The effect is good. He had just tried to use A Exploding Luck Technicaea to increase his luck. He could clearly feel that his luck had almost doubled. Unfortunately, his own luck cannot be explored, and he can only feel some of it roughly. Lin Mo felt that his luck, with the blessing of A Exploding Luck Technicaea, seemed to break through the limit and reach another level. The limit of luck is 100. If it breaks through 100, it can reach another level, which is called luck like a dragon in the inheritance. Just now, he had reached this level, but unfortunately it was only temporary and could only be maintained for a while. But it was enough. Although he had not yet tested the power of a exploding luck technique, just greatly increasing luck was a very strong ability. In some special environments, it can produce unexpected results. Master Mist said in surprise, "You comprehended it in 30,860 days." Lin Mo asked knowingly, "Is 30 days fast?" Master Mist snorted, "Of course it's fast. I've seen core disciples of the Cloud Mist sect who took 50 years to touch a little bit of superficial knowledge. 30 days, 50 years, that's a big difference." Lin Mo smiled, "Maybe it's because I'm too smart." TCH. Master Mist snorted disdainfully, "Then go try it and see if you can get the supreme inheritance." Then she explained the rules of the assessment. The goal of this assessment is still the stone tablet, and the number has once again changed from 3 to 1. The method of assessment is to use a exploding luck technique to attack the stone tablet, and the strength of the attack will determine the score. Lin Mo came to the stone tablet and first probed the luck value of the stone tablet. The dazzling red light blinded Lin Mo's eyes. The luck of the stone tablet was as high as 90, red and powerful. A exploding luck technique uses the difference between one's own soul power, one's own luck, and the target's luck to obtain the final damage amount. The greater the difference in luck value, the greater the damage. When facing the stone tablet, soul power can be almost ignored. This is an inanimate object, no matter how strong your soul is, it won't be of much use. The main test is the degree of mastery of a exploding luck technique. With such a high luck value, it is difficult for ordinary people's luck to reach 90. Their own luck is not as good as it. A exploding luck technique will not only fail to damage it, but may also backfire. You have to use a exploding luck technique to increase your own luck and weaken its luck to form an effective attack. But the limit of one's own luck is only 100. The other party has 90 points of luck. Even if you reduce it by 20 points, the difference between the two is only 30 points. How much damage can it cause? Lin Mo realized the difficulty of this assessment. The difference in luck value between the two is too small. A difference of 30 points will not cause much damage. Lin Mo estimated that if he wanted to get a good score, he would have to cause a difference of at least 50 points. If you want to obtain the supreme inheritance, the difference must be even greater. Lin Mo did not act immediately, but looked at Master Mist on the side. "Master Mist, if you want to obtain the supreme inheritance, how much is enough?" Master Mist did not hide anything. "It's very simple, you can smash the stone tablet." Smashing the stone tablet is definitely not easy. Lin Mo frowned. To smash the stone tablet, it is estimated that the luck value must be more than 80 points apart. Master Mist said, "Almost, I don't know the specifics, but it's not easy anyway. I know that there are only 3 people who can smash the stone tablet, including the old master. 3 people, that is, 3 people with the qualifications of Heavenly Venerate who have comprehended the virtual and real world. One of them is Illusionary Mist Heavenly Venerate, and Lin Mo doesn't know who the other 2 are. But he is confident that he will soon be the 4th. Lin Mo smiled, "Then I will be the 4th. He shouted softly, and his soul power burst out completely. He activated a exploding luck technique and began to drastically suppress the stone tablet's luck value. The luck value of the stone tablet decreased at an alarming rate, its color rapidly changing from deep red to light red. When the luck value dropped below 80, the red suddenly turned into a rich green. Subsequently, the green also began to fade rapidly. Suppressing the target's luck, strands of causal power landed on him, gradually forming pressure. As the stone tablet's luck value decreased, the pressure on Lin Mo increased. Soul power was being consumed rapidly, and the speed was increasing. When the stone tablet's luck value was below 40, the pressure Lin Mo was under had increased several times. The consumption rate of soul power also tripled. Even with the world tree's frantic replenishment, soul power was gradually decreasing. After that, for every decrease in luck value, the consumption of soul power would increase exponentially. When the stone tablet's luck value reached 30, the consumption of soul power was already 10 times the normal rate. Under such circumstances, Lin Mo was finding it difficult to bear. Not enough, almost there. Must reduce it to below 20. As long as he could reduce the stone tablet's luck value to 20 and then detonate his own luck, allowing his luck value to reach the limit of 100. That would at least achieve a difference of 80 points, and then using a luck burst technique, he would have a chance to blow up the stone tablet. The luck value continued to decrease. Under Lin Mo's relentless urging, even the world tree was becoming unsustainable. The long dormant 9-colored dragon soul crystal suddenly let out a dragon's roar. It spewed out 9-colored dragon breath, enveloping the soul, and the 9-colored dragon breath transformed into surging soul power. Lin Moyu's spirit was greatly invigorated. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal had not moved for a long time, and he had almost forgotten about its existence. With its participation, the soul had motivation again. Lin Moyu redoubled his efforts and continued to suppress the stone tablet's luck. Lin Moyu was not aware that, under normal circumstances, luck suppression was only about 20 to 30 points. It was very difficult to suppress more than 70 points like Lin Moyu wanted to do. It was precisely because he didn't know that Lin Moyu was fearless and went straight for it. The luck value decreased little by little. 25, 24, 23. Finally, the stone tablet's luck value reached 19, and the light green instantly turned gray. At this time, the stone tablet was surrounded by misfortune and was in danger of death at any time. For it, shattering meant death. At the limit, Lin Moyu realized that he could no longer suppress luck. 19 was the limit. The pressure on him was already enormous, as if he was carrying a galaxy, making it hard to breathe. The enormous pressure brought by the law of causality was incomprehensible to those not in it. Luck, burst, Lin Moyu whispered in his heart, and he detonated his luck. Luck rose sharply, and clouds flew out from above his head, roaring like dragons. Lin Moyu dared not delay for a second and immediately detonated the stone tablet's luck. The law of causality descended, attacking in a way that Lin Moyu could not understand. Lin Moyu seized the opportunity and opened the eye of the soul to its maximum, wanting to see what the law of causality was like. He seemed to see a layer of illusory mist. The mist that should have been hidden behind the world, suddenly flickered. Without any huge noise, the stone tablet shattered. A piece of the stone tablet shattered, as fine as powder. The whole process happened in an instant, less than 100 millionth of a second, and even with Lin Moyu's eyesight, he couldn't see it clearly. Chapter 1977. Longevity, How Easy Is It? Lord Wu watched Lin Moyu being teleported away with an unbelievable look. She muttered to herself, "It's over, there really is going to be a new master. There will be a new master. There will be a new master." She kept repeating the same words, and it was obvious that she was very uneasy. At the foot of the mountain, Hao Shungjun couldn't help but let out a violent roar. The power of the Holy Venerable burst out uncontrollably. At this moment, Hao Shungjun lost his composure. As a result, the entire village seemed to have experienced a terrible storm, and almost all the houses were blown away. Those old ancestors were blown hundreds of meters away by the storm in a very embarrassing manner, and fell heavily to the ground. In this world of rules, only the Holy Venerable can exert some power. Those powerful old ancestors are just ordinary people with stronger bodies. Hao Shungjun's momentary gaffe made them extremely embarrassed. But none of them dared to reason with Hao Shungjun, which was just asking for trouble. The inheritance tower, they're all lit up. That kid is going to get the supreme inheritance. My God, so many of us, for so many years, are not as good as a little guy who just came. We've all lived our lives in vain. It's not an exaggeration, everyone here, including myself, is trash. The 10th floor of the inheritance tower, a place that even Lord Wu, the artifact spirit, cannot enter. A space that has been sealed for countless years has finally welcomed a new guest. From ancient times to the present, the number of people who are qualified to come here does not exceed the number of fingers on one hand. Lin Moyu carefully looked at this space. The space was not large, and he could see the end at a glance. A thin layer of mist filled the space, but it did not block the view. In the very center of the space, a huge pearl was floating, which was the one on top of the inheritance tower. Seeing it from outside Cloud Mist Mountain at the time was obviously different from seeing it up close. A strange look appeared in Lin Moyu's eyes. This pearl gave him a sense of déjà vu. It's somewhat similar to the pair of pearls of Princess Luo Shen. Lin Moyu thought in his heart. Luo Shen's pair of pearls should also be from ancient times. It seems that the strong men of ancient times also had a special liking for pearls. Suddenly, the pearl glowed, and all the mist in the 10th floor space rolled back and was sucked into the pearl. The entire space became extremely bright and clear. A large number of ancient runes appeared around the space, and then the space was turned upside down, and the surroundings became a starry sky. Countless stars were shining, brilliant and prosperous. Countless cultivators were shuttling back and forth in the starry sky. They were all powerful and moved at an astonishing speed. Some were driving magical weapons, some were flying alone, and some were shuttling through space. The starry sky in front of him was many times more prosperous than the current starry sky. Each of the star systems here had several stars and hundreds of planets. Such star systems were densely packed and numerous to an astonishing degree. It also brought massive resources, enough to cultivate massive numbers of cultivators. Lin Moyu's eyes showed shock. This is the great world of ancient times, how prosperous. The pearl shone brightly, and a figure walked out of the light. He had a dignified demeanor and distinct facial features. Just by looking at him, Lin Moyu could be sure that he must have been in a high position for a long time. His eyes swept across the starry sky, seeming to be filled with nostalgia, and finally landed on Lin Moyu. At this moment, Lin Moyu had a feeling of being seen through. Neither the former Holy Venerable nor the Supreme had ever given him this feeling. Lin Moyu immediately realized that the person in front of him was a Heavenly Venerable. The previous owner of the Inheritance Tower, the Illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable. Unexpectedly, the Illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable had left a trace of his soul consciousness here. Lin Moyu immediately saluted. Junior Lin Moyu greets Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist revealed a hint of a smile. Those who can come here are all clever individuals. The implication was that he didn't find it strange that Lin Moyu could guess his identity. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist then sighed. Such a starry sky should be gone, right? Lin Moyu's mood also became heavy with his words. The starry sky is still there, but it's not as prosperous anymore. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist sighed. War is always cruel. His words seemed to possess boundless magic, able to evoke other people's emotions with a simple sentence. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh as well, but sometimes, we have no choice but to fight. Yes, we have no choice but to fight. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist turned his head and asked, how many years have passed since our era? He had been in slumber and didn't know the passage of time, only that their era had ended. Lin Moyu calculated for a moment, about 2 million years, I suppose. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist wasn't surprised. It's been quite a while, 2 million years. Even without that war, I should have died. Lin Moyu was shocked. Can't Celestial Venerables live forever? Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist let out a low laugh. Eternal life, how easy is that? Saint Venerables live for 100,000 years, Supreme Venerables for 200,000, and even Celestial Venerables only live for 500,000 years. Lin Moyu was shocked. In your era, Saint Venerables could live for 100,000 years. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist was somewhat surprised. The current Saint Venerables can't live for 100,000 years. Lin Moyu shook his head. They can't. Now, they can only live for 50,000 years at most, and most don't even reach 40,000 years. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist frowned slightly. Let me take a look. He looked up at the sky, and his aura suddenly became sharp. In the starry sky, it was as if a huge black hole had been opened, and a terrifying aura flowed out of the black hole. Lin Moyu's body suddenly sank, and he almost fell to the ground. His purple-gold body shone brightly, and the soul world, which had just become the prototype of a rule world, was also trembling at this moment. This power represented the supreme and unparalleled. Lin Moyu barely raised his head, his gaze piercing through the black hole, seeing the scene on the other side of the black hole. Grand World Rune. Lin Moyu trembled in his heart. He actually saw the Grand World Rune in the real world. The Celestial Venerable's power was so strong that even a wisp of soul will could easily open a passage to the Grand World Rune. One could imagine that if Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist's main body were here, it wouldn't just be looking at the Grand World Rune, perhaps he could truly reach the space where the Grand World Rune was located. Just as the black hole was opened, the entire rule world trembled violently, and invisible forces fell from the sky. Those old ancestors had just stood up, but now they were all knocked to the ground at the same time. One by one, they lay prostrate on the ground, utterly embarrassed. Even House Saint Venerable almost fell to the ground at this moment. It was not easy for him to hold on. What happened? House Saint Venerable was horrified. This power far exceeded his imagination. At this moment, he had a deep sense of powerlessness. He felt like an ant, extremely insignificant. At the same time, he began to worry about Lin Moyu. Don't let anything happen. It doesn't matter if you don't get the inheritance, just come back alive. House Saint Venerable kept muttering in his heart. He even regretted bringing Lin Moyu here. On the 7th floor of the inheritance tower, Wu Darren raised his head and murmured, "Old Master, it's the Old Master's aura." "Old Master, so you didn't leave. I didn't say anything bad about you before, please don't be angry, little Wu is very well behaved." Lin Moyu saw the Grand World Rune again, and the cracks on the Grand World Rune were becoming more and more serious. Chapter 1978. Burn my soul, seize your luck. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. The condition of the Grand World Rune had deteriorated again. It hadn't been many years since he last saw it, and the speed of deterioration seemed to be faster than expected. Lin Moyu felt that Star-Old's worries were still too optimistic. If this continued, the resources of the Grand World would accelerate to exhaustion, and the competition between the races would also unfold. Fortunately, not many people could see the Grand World Rune. At least, Saint Venerables couldn't see it whenever they wanted. Star-Old couldn't see it either. Perhaps he had a way to sense it, but he couldn't see it as clearly as Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist. This was also a window of time for the human race, allowing them to prepare and respond earlier. However, could this world really be reborn? Lin Moyu had a faint premonition in his heart. He even wanted to probe the luck value of the Grand World Rune to see if its color was red, green, or gray. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist withdrew his power after only 2 seconds, and the passage also disappeared. This world regained its peace, and only the runes in the Inheritance Tower space were still shining. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist consumed a lot of power and seemed a little weak. After all, he was just a remnant soul. The essence of his power was strong, but the quantity was not enough. The starry sky transformed by the runes shone down a large amount of starlight on Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist's remnant soul, allowing the remnant soul to recover. Lin Moyu asked, "Senior, is there a result?" Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist sighed heavily, "Our home is destroyed." Lin Moyu's heart sank. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist's words were a very bad answer. He suppressed the unease in his heart and asked, "Is there still a chance for rebirth?" Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist shook his head, "The hope is not great." "The hope is not great, then there is still hope." Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist didn't say anything definitively. As long as there was a glimmer of hope, he could try. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist said, "A glimmer of hope, it's almost the same as having none." Lin Moyu's tone became firm, "Please tell me, Senior, how to repair the Grand World Rune and restore the world to life." Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist's eyes shone brightly, and 10,000 starlights were born out of thin air, shining on Lin Moyu. "Do you know how much karma you will have to bear if you really do that? Your luck is very strong, but you may not be able to bear it. With your aptitude, you have the opportunity to rush to the God Road, achieve Celestial Venerable, and transcend this grand world. You still have time. As long as you can reach Celestial Venerable, even if this world is destroyed, you can still not die. If you choose to repair it, then you will be trapped here, living and dying with it. Are you sure you want to do this?" Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist's words fell heavily on Lin Moyu like a high mountain in a vast sea. Lin Moyu faced 2 choices. One was to live and die with the Grand World. If successful, the Grand World would be repaired, and it wouldn't even need to be reborn. If it failed, he would perish with the Grand World. The second choice was to use his amazing aptitude to rush to the God Road, reach Celestial Venerable, and transcend the Grand World. Even if the Grand World died, he could still live. With the lifespan of a Celestial Venerable, living for hundreds of thousands of years would not be a problem. But for Lin Moyu, he had no choice. He couldn't give up the Grand World, he couldn't give up his wife in the coffin of slumber, and he couldn't give up those friends and seniors in the Grand World. Even if he could transcend, those people would die the moment the Grand World perished. Lin Moyu revealed a hint of a smile, "Senior, I'm sure." Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist naturally saw Lin Moyu's determination. "Since that's the case, then I will tell you the method to repair the Grand World Rune. But before that, I would like to know what has happened in the Grand World in these years. When I observed the Grand World Rune earlier, I discovered some problems." Lin Moyu immediately roughly recounted the events that had occurred after the ancient period. This included the scenes he had seen through the runes. The giants collapsed, the runes evolved into secret realms, and the races fought for them. There was also the time 10,000 years ago when the human race almost perished, and Xiao Zontian was born, turning the tide. He cut off the near-ancient era with his own strength. While narrating, Lin Moyu also paid attention to Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist's expression. Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist didn't seem to have any reaction. Perhaps he was used to seeing too many major events, so he was accustomed to some things. When he saw the Grand World Rune severely damaged and knew that the world was about to be destroyed, he only sighed. After Lin Moyu finished speaking, Celestial Venerable Illusory Mist then said, "This is karma." His tone was extremely calm. "Back then, we plundered the origins of various worlds, sowing the seeds of cause. The human race was almost destroyed. This is the effect." Lin Moyu was suddenly shocked. Isn't the law of cause and effect a law belonging to the Great World? How could it be like this? Laws belong to the Great World, how could they backfire? In Lin Moyu's understanding, cause and effect are aimed at the creatures within the Great World. The Great World itself should be above cause and effect. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable did not explain. When you reach Celestial Venerable, you will naturally understand. This world is far more complex than you think. Lin Moyu asked, "Does Senior have a method to repair the Great World Runes?" Repairing the Great World Runes is not easy, but there are methods, though they may not be effective, Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable said slowly. Lin Moyu immediately perked up his ears and listened carefully. The method of repairing the Great World is very difficult, and the probability of repair is only about 30%. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable not only told Lin Moyu the method to repair the Great World Runes but also how to become a Celestial Venerable without relying on the God's path and transcend the Great World. Lin Moyu then realized that it was possible to achieve Supreme, even Celestial Venerable, without taking the God's path. There was another path to choose. However, taking that path would be equivalent to severing ties with the Great World. Strictly speaking, one would no longer be a person of the Great World. At the same time, it would cause some damage to the Great World. This kind of damage, the Great World could have withstood in the past. But now, it would be like rubbing salt into a wound. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable said, "I wonder if you still have a chance to choose before entering the Supreme Realm." Although Lin Moyu had already made a decision, Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable still gave Lin Moyu two choices. As for how to choose, it was all up to Lin Moyu himself. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable said earnestly, "You still have time, and the Great World still has time. It is a blessing for the human race to have such an outstanding junior like you in this era. The inheritance has been given to you, and the Cloud Mist sect can be considered to have successors. Perhaps this inheritance will be helpful for what you want to do. We people are indebted to the Great World and countless living beings. This Venerable One will use this remnant soul to do one last thing for this world." The majestic aura rose again, the starry sky changed, and a star chart was displayed before his eyes. Lin Moyu was suppressed by the aura of Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable and could not speak. Even his breathing stopped, and he could only watch helplessly. He did not know what Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable was going to do, only that he was going to do something big. On the star chart, stars emerged. Lin Moyu discovered that they belonged to the star fields of various races. Demon race, Golden Eagle race, Taurus Demon race, Flying Serpent race, Black Stone race. All races, large and small, were present. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable reached the peak of his aura and lightly shouted, "Explode." The exploding luck technique was suddenly activated, and Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable's luck rose sharply. Dragon roars echoed. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable's voice was extremely low, "Burn my soul, seize your luck." Chapter 1979. The first step, achieving Supreme. Cloud Mist Mountain collapsed, and the entire Cloud Mist sect's inheritance ground collapsed. This already dilapidated world of rules, along with the disappearance of Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable's last remnant soul, also began to collapse. Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable used all the power he could to do one last thing for the human race in this great world. He stripped a portion of the luck from various races and fed it back to the Great World Runes. Although it could not repair the Great World Runes, it could at least last for a while longer. This extra time was very important for the Great World, for the human race, and for Lin Moyu. When everything disappeared, all that remained in Lin Moyu's hands was that pearl. That was the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect. Holy Exalted and the old ancestors were once again pressed to the ground, unable to move. The power of Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable swept through the entire world of rules, making them feel cold. It was not until the world of rules completely collapsed and the power of Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable completely disappeared that they recovered. At this moment, they had returned to the Great World. The laws returned to their bodies, and the aura of the Great World rushed towards them. Everyone looked at each other. The inheritance ground has collapsed. Little friend Lin should have obtained the supreme inheritance, so the inheritance ground directly collapsed. It should be like this. We don't have to try again and again. It's good to get it. I don't know what exactly is in this supreme inheritance. 643 whatever it is, it's not something you and I can get. At this time, Holy Exalted's voice sounded in the ears of the old ancestors. You should go back now and remember not to talk about what happened here. Holy Exalted did not keep these shameless old guys. But these old ancestors did not leave but instead said shamelessly, Holy Exalted, this old man wants to say a few words to little friend Lin. Holy Exalted said unhappily, there's nothing to say. Hurry up and get lost. If you don't get lost, this Venerable One will take action. Holy Exalted knew what these old guys wanted to say. They just wanted to trick Lin Mo Yu back home and then stuff all their hundreds or thousands of granddaughters to Lin Mo Yu. Holy Exalted would not give them this opportunity. If there was any stuffing to be done, he would do it himself. It was not their turn. Under Holy Exalted's strict order to drive people away, a group of old guys could only leave helplessly. After driving away this group of shameless guys, Holy Exalted looked at Lin Mo Yu. At this moment, Lin Mo Yu was looking into the distance, his eyes filled with amazement and contemplation. At the same time, the aura emanating from Lin Mo Yu shocked Holy Exalted. The aura emanating from Lin Mo Yu was the aura of the world of rules. How is this possible? Holy Exalted could not believe it. What he saw and felt was outrageous and completely unreasonable. Lin Mo Yu was only a godly venerable, and only a first-level godly venerable at that. How could a world of rules appear on him? That was something even beyond realm did not have. Could it be because of the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect? Holy Exalted could not understand and could only attribute the reason to the Cloud Mist sect. As an ancient great sect, it was not unacceptable for the Cloud Mist sect to have some strange things. Now that Lin Mo Yu had a world of rules, what he was looking at now was obvious. At this moment, Lin Mo Yu's eyes were filled with complexity. In his sight were broken gods' paths. That was the path from godly venerable to supreme. Countless godly venerables had once embarked on the gods' path, reached the end, and achieved supreme. This was also the road to heaven built by the great world for godly venerables. Unfortunately, now the God's path was broken, so in this era, no one could achieve supreme anymore. The God's path was between illusion and reality, and it was said that only godly venerables could see it. In fact, it was not because of the godly venerable but because of the world of rules. The world of rules was an independent world, also with both illusion and reality. So when the world of rules was established, it had the qualification to see the God's path. In the great world, there were hundreds of God's paths. 99 of them were completely broken, unable to move forward and difficult to recast. Only the human race's God's path was seemingly broken but not broken, and there seemed to be a glimmer of opportunity. While observing the God's path, Lin Mo Yu was also thinking about the method mentioned by Illusion Mist Celestial Venerable. That method of transcending the world and achieving supreme and even celestial venerable without taking the godly venerable path had been completely abandoned by him. He put down everything here and resolutely chose another path. To repair the great world runes, one must first recast the God's path. Only by recasting the God's path and becoming the supreme of the great world would one be qualified to approach the great world runes and repair them. This was only the first step, and the first step was extremely difficult. No one had done it since ancient times. As for the other things to prepare, they were no simpler than this step. If even the first step cannot be done, then everything else is just empty talk. Lin Mo sighed, retracted his gaze, and said to Hao Shengjun, Senior, this junior has not failed his mission. As he spoke, Lin Mo took out the pearl, which contained the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect. Hao Shengjun did not take the pearl, but said, look at it first, give it to me when you don't need it. Lin Mo said, Senior might as well take a look first, to see if it's what you think it is. Hao Shengjun was not polite. All right. He reached out to take the pearl, but his hand passed through it, unable to touch it. Hao Shengjun revealed a hint of surprise. He tried a few more times, but it was the same. He used the Void Realm Law, as well as the Void Realm Rule, and found that he could not touch the pearl. The pearl was clearly in front of him, but it was like it didn't exist at all. He even used his storage treasure, unfolded the Rule World, but could not have any impact on the pearl. Lin Mo suddenly understood something and blurted out, this is a void-type object. Hao Shungjun heard this term for the first time. What is a void-type object? Lin Mo said, in the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect, everything in the world, even the entire world, can be divided into two categories, void and solid. What we usually come into contact with are solid objects, which can be seen and touched. And the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect belongs to the void type of inheritance, which cannot be seen, touched, or even felt. Lin Mo roughly explained the inheritance concept of the Cloud Mist sect, but Hao Shungjun obviously could not understand it. To understand void and solid, one needs to change one's essential cognition. Just listening to it has no effect. How difficult it is to change essential cognition, it is not something ordinary people can do. In ancient times, there were so many strong people, and only 3 people in the entire Cloud Mist sect could do it. Even such a difficult thing at that time, let alone now. If one cannot understand the essence of void and solid, then one cannot truly understand the Cloud Mist sect, let alone obtain the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect. This pearl is the best example. No matter what method Hao Shungjun uses, he cannot touch it. And Lin Mo just needs to reach out his hand, can easily hold it. Hao Shungjun said with a bit of helplessness, it seems that this inheritance is not destined for me, but it is enough for you to get it. Lin Mo said, if senior has anything, just tell me. Hao Shungjun asked, can you talk about your experience in the inheritance tower? What exactly is the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect? Lin Mo smiled, of course, even if senior doesn't ask, this junior will still say it. Chapter 1980, the second level of luck. In the warship, Hao Shungjun rebrewed a pot of Dao tea. But this time he didn't use Dao water. Dao water is very rare, Hao Shungjun can't use it every time. Lin Mo explained in detail what happened after he stepped into Cloud Mist Mountain. Hao Shungjun had obtained many fragmented inheritances, and obtained some Cloud Mist sect's techniques. From this, it was deduced that the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect was related to luck. To obtain the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect, one must find some people with extremely good luck. And people with extremely good luck can all successfully cultivate to the peak god Venerable, or the other shore. One by one, they would have no problem becoming Venerables and ancestors. The result was that he had never been able to obtain the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect. Now he knew that to obtain the inheritance, good or bad luck was only one aspect. Hao Shungjun said in a low voice, it's about the same as our guess, the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect can manipulate luck. It's just that I didn't expect that there would be a trace of Heavenly Venerable's remnant soul in the supreme inheritance. Recalling the feeling of being suppressed and unable to move before, that feeling was very unpleasant. But now that he thought about it, the other party was a Heavenly Venerable, even if it was just a remnant soul, it was still a Heavenly Venerable. Between the Saint Venerable and the Heavenly Venerable, there was still a supreme. Separated by 2 great realms, thinking about it this way, Hao Shungjun felt much more balanced. At least he wasn't very embarrassed, much better than those shameless old guys. Lin Mo still concealed some information, because there were some things he couldn't say. He couldn't tell Hao Shungjun that there was no hope for this world anymore. Unless he could repair the Great World Rune, otherwise he could only wait for death. At the same time, he couldn't tell Hao Shungjun that there was another path. Because this path, for all the other shore realm people of the human race, was equivalent to nothing. Because when they achieved the other shore, they took a shortcut and cut off this path themselves. For them, unless the God Road was recast one day, they would have hoped to step over the God Road and achieve the Supreme. Otherwise, the limit of this life is the Saint Venerable. The damage to the Great World Rune has a great impact on the entire world. The lifespan of all cultivators in the Great World has been reduced. The Saint Venerables in ancient times could live for 100,000 years. But now it is difficult to live even 50,000 years. Furthermore, resources are difficult to regenerate. Although the world is still expanding, it is meaningless. And as it continues to expand, the power of the world becomes more and more dispersed, and resources will only accelerate shrinking. Until the great world expands to the limit, and resources shrink to the limit, it will eventually completely collapse. The illusory mist Heavenly Venerable finally burned his remnant soul and seized the luck of all races, and bought some time for the great world, but it was still limited. Lin Mo felt that it was better for him to know about this desperate thing. There was no need to tell Hao Shungjun and others. Some things are better not to know than to know. Hao Shungjun said, after you go back, you should comprehend the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect well. When you master the inheritance, and then your realm is higher, you can do the next thing. Lin Mo asked, what is the next thing? Hao Shengjun did not hide it, we are going to find some things to see if they can help the God Road. You also know that for so many years, we have been trying to repair the God Road. Although we don't know the method, countless experiments have also yielded some results. The Saint Venerables have been working hard and have never given up. They know very well that their efforts may not be of much use, but they will only be willing to do it. Lin Mo would not discourage their confidence. The warship returned to God City, and Lin Mo entered his cultivation room. The soul world, which is also the prototype of his rule world, has a pearl floating in front of his soul. The supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect is inside. At this time, there was a cry from the pearl, and Lin Mo said helplessly, Little Mist, you have been crying all the way, don't cry. Master, let me cry for a while. A clear voice of Master Mist came from the pearl, along with sobs. Lin Mo obtained the supreme inheritance and became the new master of Master Mist. Master Mist also became Little Mist because of this. The pearl not only contains the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect, but also what the illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable wants to say to Little Mist. The illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable told Little Mist why he let her fall asleep. Why was she so busy at that time, and why did she want her to be with a large number of Cloud Mist sect disciples? Little Mist finally knew that this was the illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable cultivating her spirituality. Only by constantly interacting with living beings, constantly communicating and talking, can the spirituality gradually increase. Finally, let Little Mist have emotions similar to the human race, so that she can think like the human race. The whole process is very slow, it may take more than 10,000 years. Only with such a foundation can the illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable shape a body for Little Mist at the right time, so that Little Mist can become a real person. Unfortunately, later the Black Blood Great World invaded, the two worlds fought, and the illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable's idea was ultimately not realized. In order for Little Mist to exist for a long time and retain the last hope, the illusory Mist Heavenly Venerable let Little Mist fall into a deep sleep. Furthermore, before Xiao Wu fell asleep, Illusion Mist Heavenly Lord also strengthened Xiao Wu's luck, which can also be regarded as strengthening hope. He even spared no effort to preserve this inheritance land before the shattering of the rule world. It was for the Cloud Mist sect, hoping that there would be successors, and secondly, it was also for Xiao Wu. As Xiao Wu's old master, Illusion Mist Heavenly Lord had already done everything he could, fulfilling his duty to the fullest. Xiao Wu slept for millions of years, until Lin Mo Yu passed through Cloud Mist Mountain and entered Cloud Mist Great Hall, only then did Xiao Wu wake up again. Therefore, she had no idea how many years had passed outside, or what had happened. To her, it was just a long sleep. After learning the truth, Xiao Wu burst into tears and cried incessantly. Lin Mo Yu didn't try to comfort her. Some things required her to recover on her own. After crying enough, she would naturally be fine. Lin Mo Yu communicated with the pearl and began to formally accept the supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect. Luck detection art, luck burst art. From basic to advanced to sublimation, the three techniques were constantly upgraded, becoming an invincible technique in the same realm. So, what would be in the supreme inheritance? Massive amounts of information poured into the soul. Even though Lin Mo Yu's soul was strong enough, he still felt a sense of being stuffed full at that moment. Lin Mo Yu felt as if he had been stuffed into the entire world, with countless profound and complex principles crammed in all at once. If it were an ordinary God Lord, their soul would probably explode on the spot, either dying or becoming an idiot. Fortunately, the duration was not long. In just a few dozen seconds, all the information had been transmitted. Lin Mo Yu couldn't help but mock himself. Inheritance is dangerous, acceptance requires caution. Then came the task of sorting out the information. The supreme inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect was not a technique, but an endless stream of ideas. These ideas were a further sublimation of the theory of luck. In a special way, it attempted to explain luck and explain karma. If one could absorb all of it, there might be a chance to comprehend the law of karma. It was extremely difficult to comprehend illusory laws. They were invisible, intangible, and even undetectable. One could only occasionally touch upon them through some special methods. It was even more difficult than the law of time and the law of space. Lin Mo Yu did not expect to comprehend the law of karma all at once. He could only take it one step at a time. As the information was continuously sorted out, and his understanding of luck deepened, he came into contact with the second level above luck, fortune. Beg.